Hello. Welcome to the Cult of Cinema. I am Aaron. Right alongside me, well, sort of alongside me, I got Mr. Logan Toxic here, and I got MasterChaos. And so you got them for their own more popular channels. But we are here with Severin. I've got my special up today, so
oh, nice. Let's see
let's summon demons.
Nice.
Oh, cool. Love it.
I've got my very Severin appropriate Disneyland cup here.
Well, 7 kids, right?
Yeah, you know what? Movies make me happy. Disney makes me happy. I feel that there's a connection.
I only have a beer. I'm not classy like you guys. So
I wish I had a beer. So I'm Canadian.
Oh, there we go.
So it's a little healthier, but it kind of looks like a beer.
There we go.
We got a guess on the Severin title already. Right up there, right out of the gate with Jay. Says it appeared the mystery title is Beyond Darkness. Do you think it's Beyond Darkness? What do you think, guys?
I hope not. I hope not.
I got it. I've got it on that Screen Factory double. I haven't seen it, so I'm not paying $32 if that's the case for this thing.
It's still available. That's my issue with if it's that. It's still available. Like you can go on Screen Factory right now and buy that. So would there be 2 out like of one?
It's strange, but Severin's done it before, right? Because isn't Grizzly? Who did Grizzly? Was it Code Red or something like that? I mean,
well, if it's Code Red, it doesn't matter. You're gonna get a better taste.
Oh yeah,
but could have been Blue Underground.
Let's be honest.
Could have been Blue Underground for that one.
Right, but I feel like Severin has done that in the past, where they've double dipped and someone else has had it, and then they put it out. So, but $32 fucking dollars? No way. Oh, sorry. You don't want me to curse on this, right?
Of course. Now, if it's already part of this, if you're getting the package already, that's cool. So if you're getting the package, fantastic. It's part of that Big 9 package. Great. I don't mind it there. But if you're not getting the package, I don't see it as something you're going to search out for. Because I know what the slip's going to be. You know what the slip's going to be. We know what the name is going to be for that slip. We won't say it. But I don't think that'll be if that's it. Bit of a letdown. But let's be serious. Like the rest of the stuff, no, in my opinion, isn't. We'll go through it all. We'll see what you guys are getting. Scorpion group. So let's find out first. I'll go roundabout. Let me know what you guys have picked for the sale, because I haven't decided yet, and everybody here is going to help me decide. But so who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I'm not as like hardcore Severin like you two are. I have some of I got a decent amount of their stuff, but I mean, I'm definitely gonna get the Baker the Lindsay set. Yeah, what Aaron's wearing, the shirt. Is it Orgasmal? Is that the big one on that set?
Right.
Yeah. So
but it's on there.
Yeah, and it's probably gonna sell out, right? I mean, it's probably gonna sell out within 10 minutes, maybe. So I need to make sure to get on top of that for sure. And Aaron? What was the package? What's the $100 package one with the
Marauder package?
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that because I want the book, right? I really want the book, and I probably will get Blood of Dracula just because I signed up for the Vinegar Syndrome half-year subscriber thing, and Flesh of Frankenstein is going to be in that. So you can't have, because Blood of Dracula is the superior of the two, even though I don't care for either of those movies, honestly. But if I'm getting Flesh of Frankenstein, I'm going to get Blood of Dracula. So that's just is what it is. So that's my game plan for tonight. So yeah, Jose.
Nice. For me, none of the new titles are interesting. I know. I just rewatched Blood for Dracula, and it's not for me. It wasn't for me. I reviewed it for Patreon, but my main problem is, I know the point of it was that Udo is supposed to be a sickly Dracula. He's the worst Dracula of all time. And the girls that are naked through the whole movie, they just should have cast better women. And I think I talked to you, Aaron, about this.
Yeah, it's of its time.
Sure, but even of its time, there's way more attractive women in like Jess Franco movies and things like that. Like, And I didn't even think of the fact that Morrissey was gay, and that wasn't, first and foremost in his mind. However, they are naked the whole movie, so you would imagine that was a titillating element. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that I liked, but not enough that I'm going to rewatch it anytime soon. So, that's the Big Daddy. I'm certainly not paying $45 for it.
It's got a great soundtrack.
Sure, but again, I don't. That's something that doesn't really swing for me either. I don't really listen to soundtracks. No. I don't have a CD player. I mean, my Blu-ray player is the only place that I can play CDs on. And the Marauder stuff, the post-apocalypse stuff, which technically is not post-apocalyptic. It's not Mad Max stuff. None of the stuff in there is Mad Maxian. I watched Warriors from the year 2072. It's on Prime, by the way, if you guys want to check it out, under New Gladiators. It's fine. It's a good movie. Not great. It's a good movie. And I think it would look amazing on Blu-ray, but I don't think I'd rewatch it. And it always comes down to rewatchability for me. And with a lot of these titles, same with Retribution, I was able to catch up with that. And it's fine. It's got a weak ending. It's got some good effects, but I don't know that I would ever rewatch it. That's sort of where I'm at. I've going through this, being a personality on YouTube that talks about physical media this past year, I have gone through a change. I realize I'm not as much of a collector as I am a film fan. And it's really more about the film for me than it is about all the gobbledygook. I don't need the postcards. I don't need the soundtrack. I don't need lobby cards. I mean, they're nice. I'm not going to put them on my wall. I don't have room for that. So they're just going to sit in the box. Yeah, that doesn't appeal to me. To me, it's the movie. And when you talk about the movie, you talk about the pacing. And that's another conversation. But in terms of new stuff, I'm not picking anything up, unfortunately.
You're going for the older stuff or back catalog?
Yes. I'm going to grab some. I watched some Jess Franco titles recently. I really liked Bloody Moon. Dr. Butcher's on my list. I saw Sadist of Notre Dame. I liked it, but I don't think I'm going to buy it. But I'm going to get the Zombie 3 and 4, which I realized I did not have the Blu-ray, so I'm going to grab that. The Barbara Steele set.
Barbara Steele set.
Yeah, there's like three films on one disc. It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab that. And then there's just a whole bunch of other like random crap. Probably some Intervision, Bruno Mattei DVDs of some zombie movies he made. I'll probably grab those. So I just gotta be honest. That's how I'm gonna approach the sale. Like Vinegar Syndrome feels more like addicting. Like, well, I need that. I've never seen this movie, but I'm just gonna get it to have it. But Severin, I approach it a little more cautiously. I approach it a little more like I'm going to pick and choose, because I've been far more disappointed by Severin titles than Vinegar Syndrome. No,
that's fair enough, and it's true. I mean, like Iceman there, so like packaging can suck you into some not great films.
Yeah, 100%.
For me, all I know is like anchoring me is Blood for Dracula. That's a whale of mine. Like I saw it when I was young at a retro theater with Flesh for Frankenstein. Unfortunately, Flesh for Frankenstein wasn't in 3D when I saw it, so I didn't get to see it in the polarized 3D. But I know I want that, and I am a soundtrack person, so that's a huge part for me. So that's why Retribution, which has an Alan Howarth soundtrack, and I'm a huge Alan Howarth fan. So that's really I wasn't going to grab that actually initially. I was like, I like the film, but I'm not sure if I love the film. Alan Howarth soundtrack totally sold me. Same thing when I was in Ontario about a couple years back, and Hindet was going to a convention, so I was at this place called Bay Street Video, and that's a fantastic store. And I started seeing all these like black cases because I wasn't buying that Severin like a couple years back. I was just getting a few here and there, and I'd pick it up and they're like, "Okay, Zombie 3, Zombie 4 soundtrack included, Emmanuel and the Last Cannibal soundtrack included." And I love Italian films and I love these soundtracks and stuff like that. So for me, it was like, yeah, this is like a dream come true. This is a peanut butter being my jelly type of thing. So I like that. I do like some of the Jess Franco stuff. I just don't know what I can afford at this point. But there's some good stuff there. Now I will say that if you're not a hardcore Jess Franco fan, then House of Lost Women could be something that might be a little lost on you, to be honest with you. It's set in a small area. It's it's not there's not a lot of sets type of thing for this one here. It's a very downbeat film, kind of depressing, and it's very much like, I guess, how Franco felt at the time, felt not seen, really, kind of lost and stuff. If you like Franco, and you're like me, and you got to see the Thrower books and you watched a bunch of Franco, you're gonna love it, because same with Bahia Blanca. But if you're not into Franco already, it's not the one that's going to win you over. A Bloody Moon, Virgin Among the Living Dead, that'll win you over a lot quicker than this will, to be honest with you. Now, if you want like a kind of a little bit of a fun one, Black Boots Leather Whip, that's more cheesy fun. But like, have you seen Black Boots Leather Whip, guys?
That's body.
It's fun. I mean, there's one sequence where, okay, so this giving a spoiler alert. There's one sequence where the detective is captured by this girl, right? And she's blind. The bad girl's blind. So the blind bad girl has this dominatrix person like whipping him, right? But he kind of silently knocks out the dominatrix person that's whipping him and pretends that he's still being whipped, because she doesn't know, because she can't see him. So he's just like, oh. So that's more along the lines of that one. So to give you an idea.
I want to counter what Jose says about buying movies, and he buys it for rewatchability. I buy it for discovery. I like doing blind buys. I like risking it. It's way more rewarding when you discover a gem, when you actually buy it rather than watch it on Amazon Prime. I don't know what it is. It's psychological. You're spending money on it. You're invested in hopefully this product, or I can't believe I said product, but hopefully this movie is of quality, because you spent money in it. You're invested in it, and that kind of makes me discover more cinema, honestly, instead of if it's all like on Netflix or Prime or whatever. You don't value it because you didn't put any money into it. So it's a little different. Like I used to, when I started, but I used to do rewatchability, but I don't know. I found it over the years, I can, it's just so much more rewarding, just stumbling on something that you spent money on. That's why I kind of go crazy and stuff like this. It's kind of, it's kind of a ripoff. It's not worth the money that you're spending, but it is what it is. So that's the way I roll. I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. Counter to your counter. Do you think that psychologically, because you spent money on it, you force yourself to like something more?
A little, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. See, I've come to that. I've come to that realization, and I realize, to me, it's more important about what is this adventure I'm going on. What is this story? Is this a worthy story? For example, something I always tell people on my channel: try before you buy, because you never know. It always works for me. I recently watched Massacre in Dinosaur Valley, off of Aaron's recommendation, and I thought, I'm not gonna like this. I don't know, jungle cannibal type things. This is gonna be awful. I loved it. I'm buying. This is the first thing I'm grabbing. So Aaron, thank you for there you go. Thank you for recommending it.
Because I hate cannibal films too. So that's the fact that I liked it was surprising. Yeah,
no, it's a solid movie, and that's something I didn't have anything invested in except my time and my going in as open-minded as possible, and just being blown away with this kind of Temple of Doom ripoff, and having such a good time. And so to me, it's more the discovery of the film, the cinematic journey, than, oh shit, I paid $35 for this European movie that nothing happens for an hour. I better like it. That's how I roll.
What's the title? What was the title of that movie?
Massacre in Dinosaur Valley.
Is that Severin or Vinegar Syndrome?
Yeah. Severin, yeah. Gotta get Slip too, if it's still available. Slip's available. Either way, it's good.
Yeah, it'll be on sale.
Yeah, it was a fun one. I got the package that month because there was another one that I wanted too. It was almost an accident, because I bought like a package the month before, and I was at work, and the package thing came up, and I think it was Cruel Jaws was one of them that was available. And so me and my better half love shark films, so we'd seen some of Jose's films before. But yeah, so I'm like, yeah, I'm getting this because it's cheesy fun. You know, like I know you're not a fan, but it's what it is. It's like it's a beast of its time, and I almost like didn't get the bundle afterwards. I felt like a bit of barge remorse because Massacre in Dinosaur Valley. I think Primitives was the other one. And I'm like, I'm not really a big cannibal person, but I watched Massacre in Dinosaur Valley, and I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I picked up the bundle. Primitives I still haven't got to, so I can't give a recommendation on that one. To be honest with you, that one looks more like Cannibalist.
Real quick, Kubrick's point in the chat, Criterion usually delivers for me. I agree. The only label I blind buy from is Criterion because I've never been disappointed. So I guess that sort of breaks my prime directive. Criterion does anyway. I'm a fan of them for sure.
I think Criterion got me hooked doing that. Like I think Criterion started that bad habit of me doing shit like that. Oh, sorry.
Gotcha.
But just blind buying, going crazy. Like, oh, this stuff's good. What's going on here? You know, like it transferred over to like Severin, but you know.
Yeah.
Criterion started that for sure.
Oh, I think for all of us here, like, and a lot of people that are in the chat, like blind buying started with Criterion.
Yeah.
Like this was the company, this was, you know, it was the company. If you went on YouTube, like even 4 or 5 years back, every time a Criterion sale, you made a song about the Criterion sale, Logan.
Yeah.
Which is good and it's catchy. All my kids know it. So, but yeah, any videos you could see that there were these Criterion videos, Criterion hauls. Now it seems like the Vinegar Syndromes and the Severins have, in a way, kind of taken that place of what was the cool thing on YouTube. Like a few years back, if you were doing Criterion videos, that was it. You know, views and likes.
That's it.
Crazy.
That was it. There's
and
nobody
else.
else.
Little guy in the background saying, "Hey, anybody watch a Vinegar Syndrome?" And they were like,
5 years ago, who else was there? There's like nobody. Like I mean, Arrow Video was around the UK, but they weren't here yet. I mean, I guess Scream Factory kind of started, but still, it wasn't the same. You don't go to the store and buy Scream Factories. I know Halloween 2 and Halloween 3 were in the stores, but it's like it's different because Criterion was the whole thing. You know,
I found Scream Factory. Scream Factory was the first. Well, I hate. Shouldn't really call it a boutique label because Shout's pretty big, but I mean they're right up there with Kino and Criterion in terms of reach. I would see them in Best Buy and sometimes in Target. So
now
like even in the beginning, and I was like shocked because like holy shit, look at this! They put out. I can't even remember the first one. It was some John Carpenter title that blew my mind that I found that at Best Buy from Scream Factory. But you'll never, so that's why I can't call it a boutique label because you'll never find Vinegar Syndrome or Severin in Best Buy because they just don't have that reach yet.
Yeah.
For better or worse.
The first 2 Scream Factories were Halloween 2 and 3. I know because I picked them up at Best Buy on the day that they came out.
Yeah.
But the heck was that? But I'm haunted. But yeah, for me, like Arrow, like I came at Arrow because one, I was on the Amazon UK website looking for Doctor Who stuff, huge Doctor Who fan, and huge Russ Meyer fan, and found out that Arrow had put out a Russ Meyer box set, and I'm like, yes, please, I want that Russ Meyer box set. I was on it for like £10 or something like that, so I picked it up, which is insanely cheap, and it was like 2 weeks later it went out of print. So. Just great timing with some stuff like that.
Box sets is how they get you. Box sets is definitely how they sucker people in.
But did you check the box sets?
No, I mean, look, there's one coming out next year that if I did not have a personal connection to the filmmaker, I probably would not have picked it up, and that's the Doris Wishman box set. I will objectively say her films are not great. But I was lucky enough to work on her last film, and I have memories of hanging out with Doris, and she signed my Something Weird DVDs and stuff. So because of that reason, I will pick it up. I have a personal connection to her and her work. But I, as a reviewer, as somebody who like people look at me to give my opinion, I cannot fully really endorse or give my my recommendation to go pick it up because I know the movies aren't 100% the best. And that's what sometimes in the box sets, that's what they do. They'll cram 1 or 2 good movies in there. And then it's, the rest is something that human eyes should never see. And I'm saying that as a filmmaker who's probably made movies that human eyes should never see either. So I'm on that level playing field. What do you guys think about box sets? And do you think we're going to see? Well, I know actually I do. I can't reveal it, but I do know of a box set coming out this year from Severin that David told me about. I think it's going to be exciting. It's something I probably will pick up. But we do know that there is a Black Emmanuel box set, right? So I know, Aaron, you're excited about this, right?
I'm going to get it. Laura Gemser's in it. And I love Laura Gemser. And I've had a lot of her movies. Now, some of them Black Manuel movies, we talked about it before, they're not really my bag.
Mm-hmm.
But they have the set overall as all completionist. I'm hoping with some good features and maybe some stuff from Gemser and probably some stuff from Joe D'Amato. I'm hoping that to grab that Joe D'Amato, like that 2-hour long documentary that was done on him a while back. That's pretty good actually. So for that reason, I think it's probably something I'm going to grab. But is it something I'm going to say is for everybody? I recently watched Emmanuel in America, which I picked up from On Macabre during the last sale, and there was a scene in that film which we won't talk about, but it kind of just took me out of the movie. Mr. Ed. Anyway, so poor Mr. Ed. But yeah, it was
killed a horse.
No,
Is that what it was?
No, they did not kill the horse. They did something else.
Oh, what's the movie? Let me look it up real quick.
Well, in America.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I'm not getting monetized. No, you know that, right?
Wow. I'm a sucker for box sets. Like they're the most expensive, but they're the most, I don't know, well done, right? Especially Criterion. I'm not too familiar with, like, Vinegar Syndrome has awesome boxes for their box sets. Like they use awesome, I don't know what it is. Great cardboard. They have the premium cardboard. I don't know. Cardboard. They have the best of the cardboard. Yeah. But Criterion's, they have it's the complete package. I don't think I have a Severin box set yet, so I can't really say on that.
You can skip the Milligan. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, Indicator. Want to get like really great box sets? Indicator, amazing. Like everything they do. It's just like when you say a film school in a box, which is what they used to call Criterion. Literally, what Indicator is. It's literally a film school in a box. You get the films and have like extra films. It'll have like big like commentaries. That was a really good set, man. Norman J. Warren set.
The films of Norman J. Warren. This is actually out of print, but it is gorgeous and it's numbered and it comes with like a nice little ribbon here. I like it.
It's beautiful. Yeah,
and there's four cases. It's great.
And they put like not just like in one of the ones I got, the Fu Manchu one. I'll get that in a second. They even had like an interview with Christopher Lee, like an 89-minute interview on stage with Christopher Lee that was done for a BFI convention type thing, which is amazing. They do that on a lot of their stuff. They have directors and cinematographers, and they talk to them. You have like big, long, like 9-minute interviews with them, which is fascinating to listen to. They put out what was it now? A Paul Schrader one. What's the name of it? It's escaping me. But it had Richard Pryor in it. Not a comedy, but it was incredible. And there's a 90-minute like lecture from Paul Schrader, which is amazing. So
cool.
Definitely recommend that.
I just made a comment. The booklets for the Indicator are the best. Do you know who made awesome booklets? Was Arrow Video in the early days. I don't know if they do it so much anymore, but their early stuff booklets are amazing. Just amazing.
Better now. Like Arrow's box sets now, they blow Criterion out of the water. When Criterion put out Godzilla, and that's like, that's interesting. I got Godzilla. Blue Collar, that's the name of the movie. Thanks, guys. And when then Criterion, so then Arrow Video put out Gamera.
Yeah.
And it's not even in the same league now.
Didn't even compare. Yeah.
That's true. I would agree with that. The Gamera box set was my favorite thing from last year. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, like I'll only watch those movies if it's Mystery Science Theater. That's literally it. I couldn't power through. I got through half of the Zatoichi box set, I couldn't power through Gamera. There's just no way I could do it. I know myself too well.
The second box set, the High Sea. That's
okay.
the good stuff. When it's actually good, when legit good. If you like kaiju, that's really good kaiju.
Right.
The early stuff, I'll be honest with you, it's pretty cheesy stuff. It is. A bunch of pennies going around, not in the hell out of you. But the second one, definitely.
Yeah, I really like the Millennium era Godzilla. Actually, yeah, is that the latest? That's like the 2000.
Yeah, the most recent.
After that, yeah, Space Godzilla. It's great.
See, I'm a fan of and not many people like this film, but I love Godzilla. What's the one me tonight? The one with that all the Godzillas in it, where he literally comes down and he crushes the Godzilla from the American film. Somebody in
Final Wars.
Yes, thank you. Final Wars. Yeah. I love that. Most people hate it, but that's one of my favorites.
It's a good.
Was that the one? That was like the Matrix ripoff, right? Final Wars.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's kind of nuts. The director of Versus did that. Yeah. So it's a good. It's an interesting film. It's one that grows on you. The first time I watched it, I didn't like it.
Versus. That's getting released, isn't it? Who's releasing Versus? Was it Arrow?
Arrow.
Yeah. Was that released yet? Has that been released? Yeah.
I got to get that one actually.
Because that's uncut. There's two things of Versus. There's the uncut one and the edited one. And North America mostly got the edited one, and it's really hard to get the uncut one. So it's really cool that they released it.
Yeah.
But the first time I saw Final Wars, it wasn't in English, guys. There was no English on it. I just saw it with the original language, because because a lot of the stuff that I watched, a lot of anime and stuff, and I loved anime, especially when I was in college. Who doesn't go through the anime stage in college, at least, right? So none of it got a lot of Dirty Pair, which I really like, Yuri and Key. So none of it was had dubbing or subtitles or anything. So I was just trying to figure it out. First time I saw a lot of them, a lot of those it said no subtitles. I didn't see it 2 years later with subtitles.
You probably don't need it, right? You probably don't need to know what's going on. You can just kind of tell.
Well, I realized some of the stories wrong. That's what it's really about. Okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Hey, Asian movie enthusiast in the chat. I got to meet Kitamura at San Diego Comic-Con, and he signed. Actually, it's right behind my computer. I have an Azumi poster signed by him. I shook his hand, and I'm like, "Dude, you're one of my favorite filmmakers." And it was very nice. Guys go, "Oh, thank you very much." And so I thought that's a cool random meeting of a recent filmmaker. So it's funny you mentioned Azumi. I'm a big fan of that movie. Anyway, back to Severin.
Yes. So
yeah.
What is everybody getting here? Let us know what you're picking up. I'm sure I see Michael in the chat. I'm sure Michael's getting, because he's the fancy big guy. He's going to be getting the whole stuff. He's going to get everything. I know he is. He's grabbing all of it.
Ooh.
With the book.
Aaron, do you have a list of the back titles by any chance?
Not of the. I don't actually. I was going to do the screenshots. You got a list, but
we can talk about what is going to be now on sale. I've got that on
right. Phone. I'm going to get those two. I think I'm going to get those two Fulci ones that were released about 6 months ago. Right, it was the last two Fulci ones.
Enigma.
Yeah, because I have a lot of Fulci stuff. I'm missing 5 maybe, and I just need to complete him. I'm so close to getting all his movies, so I have to bite that bullet, regardless if they're good or not.
Enigma's great. Demonia's a little slow. That's what I'll say.
Yeah,
but if you like Fulci, you're gonna dig it.
I like Fulci. I don't like hardcore Fulci. What's it? Aaron, what's the one in New York? New York Ripper. That's too much. That's too hardcore for me. It was really.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was really something. What's that?
That's my least favorite Fulci.
Is it really? Yeah, it's mine too, actually. Yeah, weird.
Something about it. It's I love the movie House by the Cemetery, right? That kid's annoying as hell. So I remember watching Lamberto Bava film later on, and one of the great things about it is the kid from House by the Cemetery is right at the beginning of the Lamberto Bava film, and he gets like mercilessly murdered. And I'm like, I'm loving this film already. I'm just like, that kid that was annoying me in the last film is getting killed in the first 5 minutes. What a perfect film.
That's cool.
Never made a movie.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about New York Ripper?
Yes.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah, it's too much.
What do you think you're talking about?
It's too nihilistic for me. It's way too nihilistic for me. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. Yeah.
But me, I love New York Ripper. I love the squeeze.
Aaron, were you thinking Manhattan Baby or?
Oh yeah. When you said New York first, I thought Manhattan Baby, and I don't like Manhattan Baby. Nice hell at me. I should give it a rewatch maybe, but when I saw it, I just really wasn't into it, and I think I got like a DVD copy of it somewhere, Blue Underground DVD, one of it. But just wasn't big into it. New York Ripper, I got it on DVD. I got it on Blu-ray from UK. I got it on Blu-ray from Blue Underground, and I got it on 4K.
It's a well-made movie. It's a well-made movie. It's too hardcore.
Yeah, I get why people don't like it though. I understand. It's not. Let's put it this way: if I was a single guy, which thank God I'm not, because it would be horrible for me being the dating scene again.
Can't imagine.
New York Ripper would not be something you'd show a girl for. Like, you know what? Here's the perfect date film.
No.
You don't. No, you don't.
It's my favorite film. Wants to be my favorite film. New York Ripper. I love this movie.
Why do you have so many copies of New York Ripper? That's disturbing me. But
I tell you, I love his Donald Duck voice.
Oh my God, Fulci loves it.
That's awful.
Yeah.
It makes sense though when you find out why he does it.
Yeah, it's still a weird choice.
Well, he did the same thing with Don't Touch Your Duckling. He had like the Donald Duck doll, and that would be the main clue.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. If you haven't seen Don't Touch Your Duckling,
I've seen it. I haven't seen it forever.
That's a good one. We're talking about Blue Underground because that's where Severin really started. I mean, Gregory was he was the Brad Henderson of Blue Underground.
Yeah, it was acquisition.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but before he spun off and started Severin, so a lot of those titles are, I mean, obviously, oh my God, I'm blanking on his name.
Which one? Lustig?
Yes, Lustig was the guy in charge, and he knew all those movies. But having David Gregory there was certainly an important piece of the puzzle. And so I think Blue Underground 7 really are really kindred spirits in terms of the boutique labels. So Fulci and all that stuff. That's why that's honestly Blue Underground was my real first boutique label. That's why I found all that European stuff. Oh, and Anchor Bay.
Anchor Bay was not. See, and that's where it comes from. Bill Lustig worked first with Anchor Bay. Left Anchor Bay, started up Blue Underground. Blue Underground got David Gregory. David Gregory comes off and does his stuff with Severin, which is so they all kind of birth each other in a way.
Yeah. Anchor Bay has fallen by the wayside, unfortunately, but we still the spirit lives on, which is nice.
Stars, man. Stars killed those guys.
They went corporate. Went for the money.
It's what killed wrestling too, by the way.
There's no money in Maniac Cop 2. Like, let's be real here.
When I found out how much the budget on Maniac Cop 2 is insane. They would never spend that much money on a movie like that nowadays. So that was the heyday of you're able to fund crazy shit whenever. But man, and now you can get it for $45 on 4K or whatever the hell the new price is.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Maniac Cop from both of you guys?
2. I love Maniac Cop 2.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
First one took itself a little too seriously. That's all.
Yeah, and the problem with part 1 is that the script is very odd. Like Bruce Campbell's not really the hero till the end of it, and then he kind of doesn't really do anything. It's very odd, and Robert Davi is just the man. So yeah, part 2. Part 2.
Devil's Honey. Is that nair, yay?
Yay for me. I love Devil's Honey.
I haven't seen it, but I know it involves saxophones and ladies' private parts.
Saxophones?
Devil's Honey is a story about personal loss is what it's about. It's about loss and how loss can mar reality versus how you see somebody after they're gone.
So it's like, sexualized phantasm. Sexualized phantasm then.
Not really. Sounds like. I mean, like this girl kidnaps this doctor who she blames for killing her boyfriend, and she said, "You killed the love of my life," and and she basically tortures him sexually. She she undresses, whatever, that type of stuff. Can't touch me. But as the movie goes on, like her memories as she starts with her boyfriend are like the nicer memories, kind of they unravel. So you eventually find out what he really was like, and it's not at all what she's like portraying like at the beginning of the film. And it's nice the way that's done. I mean, like that's what I liked about it. And I think if Fulci would have had a budget to do more films along that line, because it was a very different genre for him, that he could have done really well with that. But after that, he didn't have a budget, and they just shoved him back into any old horror film again. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it wasn't. But I don't think his heart was in it as much as it was in like his heart was definitely in that one. Like when he wanted to make the film before he got sick. He actually wrote a script for the film. Somebody else filmed it under another film title. Actually, he saw the other film version of it. He said, "This sucks," and he said, "I'm making it," and he did. And it was the last film that he actually had a decent budget on. Anything after that is kind of a lower budget Fulci.
Good.
Fulci and Franco are my guys, man. these are the ones I know about.
Yeah, even chatting with Tim Lucas, I just don't think I'm a Franco guy.
I'm not
everybody are. I mean, like it's you either are or you're not. But it takes it takes 10 Franco movies. You got to watch 10 Franco movies to decide.
I've seen way more than 10, and I think I'm good.
I've seen one.
That's okay.
Two. I've seen 2 Franco movies. No, not as good ones either. No.
Did you like Bloody Moon? Have you seen Bloody Moon yet?
No, I haven't.
That's a decent one. Like even Jose.
That's a decent one.
So.
Yeah. And it's because it doesn't feel like a Franco movie. If somebody told me, "Oh, this is a Fulci movie," or Joe D'Amato, I'm like, "Oh, cool, yeah, exactly." But the fact that it's Franco is so weird. It's so outside the box. I don't think there's even any. No, there's nudity in it. But it just feels very different, and I appreciated that.
Did Franco do the Blind Zombie Virgins movie or whatever that's called?
Living Dead.
The Blind Dead.
Yeah. Did he do those?
No.
Blind Dead is Armando Soria.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No. He did actually he did one. Franco did one that was one of the most unlike sexy movies, like pretty much no nudity at all. Called Oasis of the Zombie?
Mm.
It starts off with like 2 lesbian girls camping, and I'm like, yes, lesbian girls camping. I remember being a kid waiting for this. I'm so in for this, and then nothing happens, and I'm like, are you serious? Are you seriously like not showing the nudity? Because teenage Aaron, he needed the nudity, and I actually got the movie now, and I've watched it once, and I'm still pissed about it. So it hasn't been like Alien from LA, which I just watched the other night, and man, that's a good movie.
You like that movie?
Holy crap! I was wrong.
Wow.
And for the same reason, I think that Jose was wrong, because we went into it thinking this was going to be Kathy Ireland, like sexy and naked, and she's not.
High pitch voice.
But the set design in that film for like what the budget must have been. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I love the
Aaron. How does it compare to the Mystery Science Theater version? Because I've seen that multiple times.
I mean, it's 100% different, honestly, because it's cleaned up. Actually, I mean, there's so much detail in the set that blew me away as a filmmaker. I'm like, oh my god, look at all the little bits and pieces of detail that took time and effort and brain power that you don't see in a blurry ass VHS version, whatever the hell Mystery Science Theater was working off of. And her voice is weird, but apparently, I like the fact that they addressed it in the story. They're like, oh man, your voice gives me a headache. I love that. I thought that was so. They were aware of the issues, and it allowed you to kind of have fun with it instead of like make you feel like do they not know what's going on? Are they all deaf on set?
No, she's literally like Betty Boop. She's like a cartoon character, is what it is. It's like her own voice, but kind of exaggerated a bit. Now, obviously, she did well. She's a billionaire now. She's super rich. Probably one of the most successful models, if not the most successful model ever, because she went into her own businesses and just made a fortune. So, for those wondering why she didn't come to do an interview, kind of busy, kind of always busy, but no, it's a great thing. I'm hoping that because of this, we're going to see more Peon films come out from and more canon too.
Oh yeah,
from Severin and Severin, places like that.
Peon, he's my jam. I read a book about him. Like he has his own. Somebody wrote a book of all his movies. I'm like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, I forgot what it's called. What's that?
Is that the Radioactive Dreams one? Because I think you have them on your channel, right?
I think so.
Yeah, my friend wrote that book.
Bullshit. Yeah.
He was on the channel, man.
He was so pissed that Vinegar Syndrome did not reach out to him for a commentary track or something, because he literally wrote the book on Albert.
Tell him I'm a fan. That was a good book. Everybody pick it up. It's a great book.
That's awesome. I will. I'll tell him.
That's still on my card, actually. That's still on my Amazon card.
Yeah. Because I just love his movies. Like, he has such a weird, like, I don't even care for Cyborg, but Cyborg was, it was cool when I was younger. It doesn't age particularly well, but like all the other crazy movies he made with super cheap budget, I don't know. It was cool. It was very cool.
I like Cyborg, especially the scene where he's up there and he's in the split.
He has some iconic scenes. Like, there's iconic scenes in Cyborg. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I can't revisit any of those movies that I watched as a kid, honestly. Like the action movies specifically. Steven Seagal, Van Damme. I know they're not going to hold up. And
some Seagal movies do. Seagal's first 4 movies hold up. Like his first one, To Under Siege, I think. What's his first one called? It's not Out for Justice. It's
Hard to Kill.
No.
Above the Law.
It was before. Above the Law, yeah. So it's Above the Law, To Under Siege. Like his first 5 films are actually holds up really well. Because I just saw Out for Justice like last week. I'm like, this movie's awesome. It's still good. I don't know.
See,
so give it a shot. Give it a shot.
With 2 words instead of 3 words in the title. That's what killed it. If you would have kept it with 3 words titles, like Out for Justice, Above the Law, Hard to Kill.
Yeah.
But I recently watched a bunch of like Jean-Claude Van Damme, because I did it for a review, like literally 8 Jean-Claude Van Damme films and over a few nights. And you know what? They're fun. Like most of them hold up. The later stuff isn't the greatest, but the earlier stuff, some of it does hold up, and some of them, like, you know what? It's it's cotton candy type of watching. Like it's cheesy, it's fun. You know what you're getting, so I can see why people like kind of gravitate towards that. Because it's comfort. Same as like when I watch my Friday 13th stuff. Like I know it's pretty much for the same plot line throughout the first 7 or 8 films, right?
Yeah.
But it's most of the time pretty well done. They cast it well. It's shot well, and you know what you're getting. It's comfortable. It's interesting. It's fun. It's cheesy. And then they start mixing it up after part 8 with space and Jason versus Freddy and Jason Goes Hell and all that. And So I'm keep it simple. Like if you got a good formula and it's working for you, and you've got a franchise, and somebody says we should really mix this up. Let's do this. Slap them, and then continue to do what you're doing, and keep doing it well. Because Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, those when they veered too far off, like Freddy's dead, then they sucked ass. So don't be too original for those films.
I'll say probably horror holds up the most. I think that's the one thing genre people can always revisit, and that's why those movies never die. That's why people are discovering Jason and Freddy nowadays. I mean, my kids know Jason and Freddy is they've never seen a Van Damme movie. So and then there's certain movies, action movies that do hold up. Terminator 2, obviously, Die Hard. I mean, those are forever films. But I think the action genre is something that doesn't have the lasting power, in my opinion. But there are
if like they would have done Die Hard the way they originally planned to do Die Hard with like Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, no.
You're right about action though. Think about action movies before the 80s. Think about action movies in the 70s. How they don't hold up well. Think about action movies in the 60s and the 50s. Like they really don't hold up that well, honestly. So it seems like that's one genre that is not timely. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel when my kids have kids, stuff like the Marvel movies, who knows if that's going to have lasting power? It may or may not, or maybe super dated. And like, oh yeah, I remember when they used to do those silly comic book things. You never know. Westerns were big at one point, and now nobody's doing westerns. I mean, it's crazy.
Look at Charles Bronson, right? Everybody forgets about Charles Bronson. He was like the biggest action star in the world in the 70s.
Awesome.
Nobody cares about him. He's forgotten. He's a forgotten guy.
Same with Burt Reynolds. I grew up with Burt Reynolds. Everybody loved Burt Reynolds. You'd go to the theater, like Smoking the Bandit's coming out. There's Stick is coming out. That type of stuff. But nowadays, hey, wasn't he in Evening Shade?
Burt Reynolds, he was right before Charles Bronson. So like all these big action stars, they're forgotten. They're gone with the wind. Gone with the wind.
And I think the issue with action is that some of those stars linger and they end up doing crap movies, and that affects, retroactively.
Affects the brand. Yeah.
Like Van Damme's been in so much garbage, and Seagal has been in like even more, and now Bruce Willis is doing all these like direct to DVD movies where he's in like one or two scenes for $1 million a piece, and he's diluting the brand for sure, but. It's almost like, well, for him, he doesn't care. From what I hear, he doesn't give a crap. He's in it for the paycheck. I mean, we saw Die Hard 5. If you were unfortunate to see it, he just does not care anymore. And that sucks.
I think that then maybe it's up, but I'm older, but still maybe for me anyway, I find that the 80s action overall holds up better than like say 70s action. Yeah. And I think because 70s films are very 70s. Like because 70s action movies are like, Billy Jack and the motorcycle films of the time.
Death Wish.
If you're not into that, or if you're younger and you turn it on, that's not going to speak to you. Like, unless you're really into the hippie movement of today or something like that. Like Billy Jack is not going to speak to you today, and especially if you watch the sequels. Oh my God! And if anybody's watched Billy Jack. Or no, forget that. Scratch that. Watch Born Losers, and then don't watch the rest, because Born Losers is excellent. And then after that, the girl that's in Born Losers that becomes his wife in real life becomes the star with him of the other films,
right?
And that is pain. That is all kinds of pain.
Yeah, I watched all those movies like over a weekend. There was like a DVD box set, and like,
did you watch the trial too?
And I'm like, oh yeah. I honestly, it's a blur. I just remember thinking it starts off okay, and then it just gets kind of lame, and that's all I remember, honestly.
Talk, right?
Yeah, man. Ugh.
I like this question. Do you think people are overhyping the Blood of Dracula release? I do a little bit, yeah. I'm not. Me and Jose are not fans. So
it's my whale, though, guys. This is a whale for me. This is something I've been wanting since I've been very little. That's because I'm a warped individual. No, I love the way it's shot. I really do. I think Paul Morrissey is a fantastic director, and it's visually like really. And it's a movie. Like I said, does a movie need 4K? Yes, for this. 4K for sure. The same with Flesh for Frankenstein. They're very visual films, and that's something that's like or hate. They're going to be very visual. The sound, the soundtrack, the music, and the picture is key for this. The story is not key for these films. Sure. These are more art than they are actual and that's why I see them as art as opposed to just like as a film with a linear story that goes through. There's a story, but For me, it's the more of the sensory part of it that's important. And it's for me, it's like looking at a painting in a museum. So that's, I guess, high praise. But for me, that's that's how we see the films.
I don't know if it's overhyped or I was let down by how much I would be stoked it was Fright Night 2. Because Fright Night 2 is never happening. I decided it's not going to happen. Every time these studios, these boutique Blu-ray labels, have little vampire teeth as a teaser, they know people are going to think Fright Night 2. They're going to know it. And it's just like, they're never going to release it. So it's like, you're just going to let down everybty all the time. Every time you tease vampire teeth.
They killed him. His kids killed him. So
the movie still exists. The movie still exists. They should.
They got to get the right.
Somebody should just release it and see what happens. What are they gonna do? Oh, we can't sell it anymore. All right, we'll stop selling it. Let's see what happens.
Severin needs to do one of these secret weekend releases. There you go. Come on, Severin. David Greg, if you see this, do a secret weekend release, an unpromotable slipcover for like 3 days. I will buy the hell. You do a 4K of that, I'll buy the hell out of Fright Night 2. Love the film. A lot of fun. And I'm a huge fan of The Pretender as well. And, of course, TerrorVision. And the guy from who plays the werewolf in Fright Night 2 is the guy, he's the computer nerd in The Pretender. And he's like the boyfriend in TerrorVision, like the one with the long hair.
Yeah.
Love the soundtrack to TerrorVision, by the way. Fantastic.
I honestly, my thoughts on Blood for Dracula, I mean, whatever. Far be it from us to tell people what to buy or whatever. We're just sharing an opinion. But I think a lot of people are just going to cut up in the hype. Oh, shit, everyone says this is good. I have to get it. And I feel there's going to be a lot of people very disappointed with what they get.
Yeah, it looks cool.
What movie you think it is?
You gotta know going in. Like, one, I recommend it. But two, know what it is going in. Like, this is not Fright Night. This is not Lost Spies. This is not that type of film.
Mm-hmm. It's not a horror movie.
But it's
not a horror movie. It's not a horror movie though. People think it's a horror movie. It's not a horror movie.
What is this? A horror comedy? It's still horror. I mean, like, still vampires. Still
comedy. I just said comedy. I wouldn't say that.
Yes, I would. Oh God, yes. Come on.
I just see it.
It's hilarious.
I only saw it when I was 12, so that was a long time ago. So I could be a little biased, but Jose just saw it.
Yeah, I saw it recently. And I mean, it's it's definitely a tongue-in-cheek movie. It is a horror movie by the definition that Dracula is in it and there's blood, but it's a very slow. I mean, it almost feels like a Jess Franco kind of like sex movie because there's a lot of sex stuff in it. There's a lot of Joe D'Alessandro's ass in close up. I gotta say that doesn't really win me over.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
What about MasterChaos, huh? There you go.
I don't know. I mean, I hope people like it, but I $45 is a lot of coin, and I think if you want to buy it, I mean, I just wait for a sale. Honestly,
you talked me out of it, Jose. I don't think I'm gonna get it.
Yeah,
you should. You should get it.
I've seen
it. Do we think the Severin's mystery title will be Reanimator 2?
That'd be cool.
You mean? Oh, you mean?
Bride
Metamorphosis?
Reanimator?
No, it's
no. You mean? I think it means Metamorphosis.
Was that okay? Yeah,
it looks like it's going to be Beyond the Darkness, but I just can't see how it's going to be that because if that was a Scream Factory title that was no longer available, for instance, like if I went out and I went and said it was out of print, then I'd be okay. Well, I guess. But it's still in print. Like if you can go online and buy Metamorphosis and Beyond the Darkness together,
it's like Vinegar Syndrome only sold like the 4K release of Rad. It could be like only the 4K release of Beyond Darkness.
Not 4K, it's just a Blu-ray, right?
Right, but is it just a Blu-ray?
It's like 3 discs.
Teaser.
I
thought it was a 4K release.
Metamorphosis and Beyond Darkness, you can get it for $20 on Amazon. So if it is that, I'd probably still steer people in that direction unless you really need that slip. That's like I mean, I guess resellable, but
it's
Some
a
people do.
nice bonus if you're grabbing like the big $246 like kit. But if you're not getting that, I can't see somebody like going for it outside of it. Because
Those are nice.
is anybody else getting redemption? But me, nobody else getting redemption either. So, or a retribution redemption. I'll get these fellas right one of these days.
I might get. Oh, there we go. I might get retribution. I mean, it looks pretty solid to me. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so
it's a decent film. I mean, as far as like the stories go for a lot of these films, Retribution does have a better story than a lot of the films that we're seeing here right now. In my opinion, anyway. Great little trailer for it too, if you've seen the trailer, right? But we got the totals here, so that does look a lot like Beyond the Darkness. It really does, even like scrambled. So that's confusing.
Yeah, it does.
But
it really does.
That's like a stupid choice. Like, why is that? Like, I can't understand why that would be unpromotable. I don't think the people who made House are going to be so pissed off that because this is House 5, right? I mean, so
Evil Dead 5.
It'd be cool.
Evil Dead 5?
Evil Dead 5.
Oh, I thought it was House.
Yeah, I thought it was House 5.
You see, La Casa means like the Evil Dead 1 is pretty much La Casa, right? So all the sequels to Evil Dead were La Casa 2, La Casa 3, La Casa 4, La Casa 5. And things like Witchery, Ghost House. Witchery, there's Ghost House. There's Beyond the Darkness, and I can't remember what the other one is right now, unfortunately. Sorry, guys.
I thought Beyond the Darkness was Evil Dead 5. I really did. I don't know. It'd be cool to have like the slipcover say Evil Dead 5. I assume that's what they're doing. I mean, that'd be cool, right? I'll buy your other Evil Dead.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing. Like, are people going to buy it? Like, just based on some people will. On the
Jaws, was it Jaws 5? That was cool.
Yeah.
When Cool Jaws did Jaws 5, that was cool.
But that was a movie that was not easily available. So I mean, even
there's a difference. Like, if you can buy the movie for $20,
sorry, what?
If you can buy the movie for $20, right now online, and I don't see it. I just can't see it. Like, there better be some hell of a great feature on here, if you're even going to try and tempt me at all. But I think that they're going to be, if it's Beyond the Darkness, then they're banking on the slipcover selling it as Evil Dead 5.
What's the hint? Is the hint just the picture? Is there
the hint is that it was been on Blu-ray before, but never alone in North America. So it was right. It's on Blu-ray.
It could be. Looks like a black cat too. It could be 2 cats. Maybe.
I think Zach in the chat said it looks like a shark. So I mean, it could be anything. Honestly, at this point.
If it's the shark one, I'm down with that. I'm so down with that. Like, I've only ever read that one in like nefarious ways before. So yeah, I know that one.
Okay, so you were saying that it was a movie that Laura Gemser worked on as a costume designer?
Yeah, they said, well, during the I listened to the podcast today, and they said they mentioned Laura Gemser, and they kind of mentioned that the secret title she might have worked on as a costume designer. Kind of wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it really could only be Metamorphosis or Beyond Darkness. The other ones are like sex movies.
Unless, it's, or the Ator film that she did. She did an Ator one, right, too?
It's not here. I see a lot of sexy movies, and then Troll 2. I can't imagine it's Troll 2. Oh, and Crawlers. In 1993, she worked on a movie called Crawlers.
There it is.
I think I got that.
There it is. That's what it is. Crawlers.
There's a Frankenstein 2000 from 1992, but I can't imagine that it has an alternate title.
I think it is, unfortunately, what we think it is.
Maybe, yeah.
But it's not being released till Saturday. That's the killer part. So we don't know. So people, you got to go on blind faith. That's going to be something you like. But, it's not the first time we've gone on blind faith before. Like, anybody that's ever done a Vinegar Syndrome sale.
Right.
That's always what we're always going on blind faith with Vinegar Syndrome.
Yes, indeed. I'll try and he won't tell me anything, but I'll try and ask David tomorrow if he can give us some more hints as to what it could possibly be. But who knows? Who knows?
There's some good stuff coming out. I mean, like from Severin, like within this year. I know that MasterChaos is super excited about the Black Emmanuel set. That's his jam. He said first thing he's grabbing.
Yes.
Christmas present of the year. But
Yes.
But no, I'm excited. But so like going over the titles here for people that haven't gone there. So Retribution, it does look gorgeous. Like I know you don't want to get into the sexy slipcover and stuff, Jose, but it does look gorgeous. And it's got Alan Howarth's score. I'm a big fan of scores.
Right.
Blood for Dracula again, like the girl. What a fantastic job she did on the art for Furukiya. And it looks gorgeous too. It's a digipack.
That's good.
Raiders of Atlantis got the Brad Henderson commentary, right? And well, he moderates it at least. And he's like the biggest fan of like Raiders of Atlantis is Brad Henderson. To the point where he was going to write a book on it at one point. So he's a huge fan of that one. Now, Warrior of 2072, honestly, I don't remember it very well. I remember Endgame a bit by Joe D'Amato. I actually kind of dug that. That was kind of fun. That was a fun one. So out of those three, like Endgame was one that stood out to me. And I know nobody's talking about Endgame. Everybody's talking about like there's a Fulci there. And look, there's Deodato there. But for me, it's like, oh, Endgame's kind of cool. Like I kind of like some of the stuff Joe D'Amato does. I like certain movies Joe D'Amato does, but they're never going to come to Severin. But yeah, Rocco Siffredi. And we got Mark Savage's The Masturbating Gunman, which it's insane.
Yeah.
And I almost want it because it looks, you know, it's not taking itself seriously. And it actually looks kind of fun. Did you guys see the trailer for Masturbating Gunman?
Yeah.
Like I didn't want it. Yeah. And that trailer kind of made me want it with the big black like leather like mask on. And look, it's the Masturbating Gunman. And he's got this big Australian accent like
you know, the trailer sort of turned me away from how to get it because the whole plot point that he masturbates onto his face. I feel like that's very strange. I'm like, I don't know that I need to watch that or have that on Blu-ray or pay $28 for it.
But to be fair, it doesn't look like what it's supposed to look like. You can tell it's kind of hand cream.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, if it was the real stuff, that would be insane. But
then Ichi the Killer.
What?
Then it'd be Ichi the Killer.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Opening for that.
I don't know. I might grab it, but I'm not. I'll probably wait for a sale for that one.
It's rare to get an Intervision on Blu-ray. There's only like 2 or 3 Intervisions come to Blu-ray. So that's interesting. House of the Lost Women. If you're a Jess Franco fan, or you want to get into like the headier Jess Franco stuff, you want to study Jess Franco. Like I'm a film fan, but like, in all honesty, I'm a film analyst. I analyze movies. Like sometimes that's really fun. Sometimes that can be annoying as hell. But that's my thing. Is I kind of deconstruct the film, and I love doing that. So that's why I have this weird little channel here. But House of the Lost Women, if you want to know Franco's and like personally know Franco and stuff that was going on with him around that period of time, it's a great little character piece like that. But it's not something that's going to win you over if you're not a Franco fan. It's not this is the one that's going to win me over. I think Bahia Blanca does a little bit better of a job with that, and that one is still, it's like a solid, it's a solid character story. But Black Boots, Leather Whip, if you want to get anyone, just some fun Franco. That was during the was it Barbara Castor or something that Lena Romay called her stuff around that time period? Because she used like a different name for the films. Antonio Mayans used a different name too around that period of time when they were doing the films. Because this is during the that ongoing character, the El Pereira character, for these. So that's a cool. It's fun. It's no Irish, but it's kind of cheesy, fun no Irish. The features, like John mentioned there, for if you're a features person, there's some great features on certain titles here. I mean, feature wise. Blood for Dracula, Retribution, amazing features on those. I think that War of Year 2072 had a lot of features as well, and so did if you've been collecting the Francos, and you got Shining Sex in the last sale, then get House of Lost Women because it was a 2 CD soundtrack, and I think it's Daniel J. White, something like that. His name is. So I'm probably getting it wrong. But anyway, so the first volume of that soundtrack came on Shining Sex, and the second volume of that soundtrack is on the House of Lost Women. So that'll complete your soundtrack for Jess Franco, and that's actually a pretty good soundtrack. And Stephen Thrower's, if you're interested in Franco at all, the Stephen Thrower stuff is what you're going to be watching. Like, if you're like, okay, this movie's okay, but I go back to features, I'll go back to commentaries, and I'll watch them like Heather Drain, Sam Deegan, Kat Ellinger, anything that Amanda Reyes does. When like Troy Howarth, Kim Newman, guys like that, I'm listening to those commentaries like over again, like not just once. They're like commentaries are a big deal for me. I'm not making a podcast list of commentaries. I'm taking my disc and putting it in there and listening to a commentary because, oh my God, that was insane. We'll talk about that after. Candy Costa, Robert Foster. There you go. Thank you, Psycho. That's the name that we used. I knew there was a name. Yeah, so for a period of time, they went into those names. Yeah, in Land of Franco 5. Have you guys got any of the other ones, like from either Shining Sex, Bahia Blanca, Cries and Pleasure, and Night of Sex? Did you get any of those?
Who, us or the chat?
You guys.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Because if you did, the Land of Franco featurettes almost would sell you on the rest of them. For Thrower is that good. When he's talking about something, the Thrower is really, really convincing when he's talking about these characters. So is Tim Lucas, man. Like, if you don't like Franco and you watch MasterChaos' Tim Lucas interview, you're buying all the Franco because he's just that. He knows he's Franco. And I don't know, but me and Tim Lucas like a lot of the same things, I think. And like I was watching that interview and I'm like, oh man, this is all stuff I like. What's Nightmare USA Kubrick is the Stephen Thrower book, which is for a lot of us, it's our Bible. if you like exploitation cinema, it's something that you got to have in your library. Anything. You ever wonder what Vinegar Cinema is going to put out in the future, or Severin, or any companies like that? Look at Nightmare USA because it's just fantastic.
It's funny. Zach just said in the chat that he just got it, and I literally just got my copy in the mail 2 days ago. I didn't have it, and I remember you were talking about it in one of your streams. I'm like, man, I'm going to pick that up.
You should. Have you started yet?
No, I haven't opened it yet.
Oh, that's cool, man. They even got like start off in near the beginning with the whole chapter on James Bryan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like, Roar's a huge James Bryan fan, right? So, but the way that he writes, like, and you've seen James Bryan stuff.
Yes.
Like Don't Go in the Woods Alone and all these other films. And the now, unfortunately, out of print Lady Street Fighter from AGFA. Then he made all those, right? So, but he gets in depth. He talks about them, goes through the whole, like Stephen Thrower was so good. And if you don't have it and you're wondering about it, the Franco books, if you can get them for a decent price, pick them up. I mean, like, I think the second volume, which is a good one, especially if you're looking at the Franco stuff that's out right now, was like 52 Canadian dollars recently on Amazon. So over there in the US, that's actually fairly cheap for you guys. So you're going to get like for what, $40, $35-40. And for like a book that's around this thick, like literally this thick, a hardcover, because they're massive. Both of the Franco books that Stephen Thrower put out are massive. And if you're not into Franco, it will get you into Franco. You'll understand a bit more because he will go through all the tropes and he'll break it down. He'll explain why this is important in this film. But he's honest. Like if he sees a film that sucks, he MasterChaoses it. He'll honestly say, this movie sucks, and he'll go through and say, no, I don't like this film, and he'll go through the reasons why. And whether you like it or not, his reasons are going to be solid, and you can't disagree with him. You can disagree, like I like it better, but his reasons for not liking it are good.
Right. That's interesting. I'm curious to read it because most of Jess Franco's movies are close-ups of vaginas. So I'm like, I wonder how he's gonna deconstruct this one.
You got to see the right ones, man. I think you might like. I still think if you get Bahia Blanca, let me know, or you get to see it, at least watch it. it's definitely worth a watch because it is so personal. And I think, story-wise, as far as Franco goes, it's fairly decent. It's not a dive-all to Dr. Z. It's not a Bloody Moon, but there's a murder at the beginning of the film, but it's important, but it's also an afterthought because the murder happens before the film even starts. We don't see the murder, but we know that a murder has happened, and there's these characters between, like, there's these characters on an island, and these characters that go to the island. And there's scenes of isolation and regret and a bit of self-discovery. So, fun stuff, in my opinion.
Good.
And it has a cover that looks like Ready or Not. Ready.
Oh, really? Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, The Bride. Yeah. I'm gonna guess Ready or Not is better, but I'll give it a shot. But yeah, here are the titles, man. I don't know. I'm curious. Does anybody in the chat and you guys, do you think the bundle will sell out this weekend?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. 300. That's really nothing.
Well, they still had bundles from back in the day, though. I mean, like they still had the Santa Sangre bundle and all those other bundles, the basket bundle. They still had those hanging around, and people go in saying, "Oh, yay, halfway sale!" And then they realize, "Oh, wait, this isn't part of the sale." I don't know. I honestly don't think it will.
Well, but the halfway sale, when you think about it, like the Vinegar Syndrome titles aren't halfway, aren't like sale price either. When the new titles, it's just it's the older titles. But there's a lot of good older titles that are coming out. If you want to get like a Franco stuff, you want to like dip your toes, get Bloody Moon. The Saddest Notre Dame's pretty good as well. But I think for just somebody going in, so maybe something like, but even though it's not really too Franco-ish, it's a fun title. But there's some decent titles, stuff like I recommend Boys Next Door, directed by Penelope Spears, loaded with features. Great little title there. Really big fan of Maxwell Caulfield. Really big fan of Grease too. And of course, Charlie Sheen's there as well. But Maxwell Caulfield was a selling point for me for that film from when I was young.
What movie's that? What movie?
Boys Next Door.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yep.
Excellent film.
Yeah.
And with a fantastic, a mainstream director, and definitely a big director for Severin to have in their label, like something like Penelope Spears is not like someone that you get like every day. That's when Paul Schrader came to Vinegar Syndrome with Patty Hearst. It was a big deal.
Yeah, and Patty Hearst to me feels like an outlier for Vinegar Syndrome. That feels like that was like almost like it should have been a Criterion release in terms of like, because it doesn't fit, with the rest of the movies they put out. Maybe that's just me. I don't know.
No, I mean, like, go for it.
I was just going to comment on Jose's question on how much of a discount is this bundle? Is it like $50? That what this?
Let's do the math.
I think Aaron did the math. I think it's like less than $20 or something.
Oh,
19,
really?
Right? Didn't I say it was 19?
Wow.
19, yeah.
For the Meltdown bundle, and $11 off for the Marauders bundle. I think that's what.
Yeah. I take my comment back then. I don't. I mean, that's really not enough to justify it.
I mean, if you only want like 2 of the movies, then but if you want all of them except one, then you might as well get it.
But if you want all of them besides like the Jess Franco ones, it's like then you won't get it then.
Yeah, because what are you going to do with that? I mean, you can try to resell it, but Severin doesn't really resell as well as Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because these aren't as limited as Vinegar Syndrome. Maybe that's the case. I don't know.
I think we're going to get a big sell for Blood for Drax. I think that's going to sell extremely well. You're going to have a lot of people in for the post-apocalyptic stuff based on Rares of Atlantis.
I want that book. I want the book.
Yeah. That's the thing. People are going to be grabbing. People in the US are going to be grabbing the book. If you're not in the US, by the way, guys, you can't get the book. Unfortunately, it's US only. But you can go to Pulse. I spoke with the writer. You can go to Pulse and you can actually order the book, the English version of the book from there. I'm going to be doing it later on. I won't be doing it during the sale because money. And we just got over a big sale. So this is my, this is going to be the other one. I totally lost my train of thought. I totally did.
I'm probably going to drop $200 on a sale because I'm going to get that set, and then I'm going to probably get that Lindsay box plus a couple other older ones. So,
That's a good one. I mean, they like the post-apocalyptic stuff. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
There's going to be people that are going to buy this book, and they're going to say, I'm not going to buy those 3 films. I'm going to wait. They're going to get the book. They're going to start reading through the book. They're going to wish to pick up the films, and they're going to go pick them up later on down the road. Now, what we don't know yet, and we don't never know until Severin starts the sale, which one of these are limited, which of these are only on during the sale, because they always have 1 or 2 titles, like the mystery title, for instance, is only on during the sale.
Yeah.
The limited edition.
Aren't these on Tubi though? Like, I mean, isn't everything on Tubi? Like all Severin, all Vinegar Syndrome. I think all this stuff's on Tubi, so it's not like
Yeah, but the thing is, like, do you really want to watch? Like, okay, it's okay to watch, but for me, and this is the reason that, like, I don't normally say, like, go watch this. Go check it out, unless it's a movie that I'm pretty sure is going to be kind of polarizing, because you don't get that experience. Like a cinema, when you go into a movie, you go into a cinema and you watch a movie, and you pay your money and you sit down, and the lights go out, and you watch that movie. That's a cinematic experience. When you're watching something on Tubi, there's like a dozen commercials through. It's broken up. You're never quite sure what source you're going to get for what film. Happens on Amazon Prime too, which is a big streaming service. They still have some crappy sources within there. So
yeah.
It's okay to go in to get a feel. Okay, am I going to like the story of this movie? Does this flow for me? But it's hard to tell with some films, especially. I don't think you can watch a Just Franco film on Tubi and get like a good feeling of, okay, this is how this film goes, because films that Franco does flow in a certain way, and especially certain ones, not everyone, but certain ones, like, they're going to flow in a specific way, and those breaks and in between and those commercials that come up are going to totally take you out of the film. That's why, if I'm going to review a film, for instance, this is my phone, but if I'm reviewing a film, then I'm watching the film, usually around twice, because I try to watch it a couple times. But my phone goes, out of the room, or just is out of hand's reach, because I do not want anything to distract me when I'm looking at the film. Now, the second time I'll have my iPad with me because I'll take notes, that type of thing. But
it's commitment.
That's my commitment, guys. Secret, but my reviewing.
When I reviewed films, I did not do that whatsoever. I barely finished the movie sometimes, and yeah, you get the gist of it halfway through. You really do.
Aaron, I'd like to differ about the cinematic experience versus the streaming experience. I feel they're very similar, whereas at the end of the day, you don't have a physical copy, but you've had this, experience just watching the movie for what it is. Either you rent it, on Amazon, if you rented it or whatever, or it's streaming free. It's almost the exact same experience, except you're at home, you're not with an audience. When you blind buy something and it sucks so hard, and you're like, I've got a stack of shit that I should say, that I'm never gonna watch again. It's in my opinion, and I don't know how other people feel about this. You start to look at your collection with disdain. Like, what am I going to do with all this crap? And the more that happens to me, the more I realize I need to cut back and do way more trying before blind buying. Yeah.
No, I think it's more rewarding. It's more rewarding when you get that gem. That's what it is.
Yeah. And it matters. I mean, if you're watching on Tubi as opposed to watching on Amazon Prime, for instance, Amazon Prime, at least it's going all the way through. Tubi, it's like break, like commercial here.
Sure.
I was reviewing, the Stepfather films, reviewed and ranked Stepfather films over Father. And so the only way I could find Stepfather 3 was on Tubi. And it was commercials so much. It was so hard to get into that film. Streaming is good. I'm not against streaming. like, and watching things streaming basis. Like, for instance, Vinegar Syndrome for a while had Exploitation TV, which was a streaming service that they used for a short period of time to promote and to get money for their for transfers, until they became like a bit of a bigger company. And now they're the kind of the bee's knees when it comes to the collecting thing. I'm not old at all with using terms like that, but yeah, like if you can stream it on an Amazon and stream it on a Netflix, yes. If you have to stream it on somewhere like a Tubi or something like that, and I like Tubi, I watch Tubi a bit, especially for stuff like Bizarre Murders, like kind of true crime crap like that I just enjoy. But yeah, I understand what you're saying about, like, try before you buy. I guess I think too, as you start to collect more too, if you've been collecting for a while, and for me, it's not, I don't collect just for collecting anything. Like, if the movie's crappy or not, if it's in my collection, it's in my collection because I want it there, because I like the film. Except for Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2, which is part of the Scream Factory box set.
Right.
But aside from that, like, pretty much everything that I got is, I own it. Like, okay, they're like, would you really like that? Yeah, or I wouldn't have it in my collection. That's like when I do reviews, and like, people send me review copies and stuff, which isn't very often, but for a couple companies doing, you get a lot more of a MasterChaos. Like, behind the curtain, they ask us what, would you like to review this most of the time. They don't like normally just the blind send you stuff. So I don't normally go to reviews like, oh yeah, this movie looks like it's going to be pretty crappy. Yeah. Why don't I take some time reviewing something that I think is going to be really crappy? No, I don't normally do that. I normally go to review the stuff that I think I'm going to like, or I think that, like, the people that are watching this are going to be interested in.
Right. I'll counter your commercial.
Here we go.
With this, the movies I grew up with, and maybe it's just my generation, the movies I grew up with, I watched on TV, and they had commercials, and I still love them. So commercials didn't necessarily affect how I experienced a movie. If the movie spoke to me, it spoke to me beyond any kind of break. If I enjoy a movie, then I'll buy it. But commercials don't affect, in my opinion, the viewing experience. And now, of course, we have a different generation who's not used to commercials. My kids don't watch commercials. We don't even have regular television. We got Netflix, Disney Plus, all that stuff. So it's very different. So I can see somebody not being used to that having affected their enjoyment of the movie. But if the movie's good, the movie's good, no matter what. Oh no, I understand. Like,
I grew up same way you did. Commercial, CBC late night. So for me, but a lot of the people that watch this are younger than us, and the streaming stuff is kind of what a lot of people know, and even like some older people, older than me, that streaming is kind of their thing right now, which is okay. It's just fantastic. But I just think that the type of commercial experience, from the commercial to, if you don't have great internet, then buffering or whatever, those things can make a difference. Now, that being said, being a big hypocrite here, I watch Saturday morning cartoons on YouTube with commercials in there from the times that they came on, and I would love to see somebody put those things out on Blu-ray, because I buy the hell out of that. Give me a Saturday Supercade collection, I'm there.
Didn't you guys rent
Supercade is, you get cool points.
Didn't you guys rent a ton of movies every weekend? Like, that's how I watch movies.
Sure.
I didn't watch cable. Like, I rented movies like nonstop. Like the cheap dollar rentals. That's the only way I watched movies. Actually, I didn't watch them on TV.
But then, how many of those rentals did you wish you kept? In your house. And stacked up on your shelves.
Rental was
like $5, and then all this. I'll give it back, but paying $45 for something that you're gonna regret. That's
true.
That's a bigger investment than a $1 rental that you give back.
Yeah, but let's be fair. In the early days of VHS, $45 was a cheap movie. Your regular like VHS film you bought when it first came out was like $89, $90, like $100, something like that.
Oh yeah,
that's
back in the day.
And I think for me, that was the height of my collecting, honestly, VHS. When VHS dropped in price and like Rhino Home Video was dropping all these like Ed Wood and all these like 50s movies. I was like, oh shit, yeah, I'm getting all of this. So I had a ton of VHS. And then what happened? I gave it away. And a new format came in, and I said, DVD is way better. Oh no, Blu-ray is way better. I still have my DVDs, but I gave away all my VHS, and I had some great titles. But again, I don't have space. I had to make room for a family, and that's my mindset now is more like Betamax. Nice. My dad had everything. My dad was like the physical media king. He had Laserdisc. He had I forget the name of it. It was before Laserdisc, but it was
and that's the CDs.
Yeah, it came like in a plastic, like in a big plastic thing.
I remember those.
We had all that shit, man. So he really inspired me to collect because he had all that. We had all the players. We were the when Blu-ray came out, he went and bought the first Blu-ray player. He's got like 8 TVs in his house, which he doesn't need. So he is definitely the collector guy. And I started watching movies when he would take them off HBO. That's where I discovered Ghostbusters and Beastmaster and all that kind of shit. And then for me it was TNT and TBS. They would show movies on the weekends, and I don't know. That's where I developed my affinity for film. But it was all, but it wasn't in a way where I'm going to make a huge investment in this. And I think the conversation is, why do we feel the need to pay full price? I think that's kind of where I'm going at. What do you guys? What are your feelings on this? Because Dracula's going to be around for Black Friday, so you could get it for not $20, but cheaper than $45. So what is it? Is it just something you just desperately need in your hands, or could you wait? I'm curious.
Definitely could wait for that one.
Aaron, I know Aaron's like.
Well, for me, the way I see it is physical media is not the same as it used to be. Like, unfortunately, it's meant for the collectors now. Like, it's not everywhere. It's not around the way that it used to be. So for me, I vote with my dollar on what I want to see come out. So if there's a film that I'm iffy on, then I'll wait on it for a sale. If it's something that for me is as monumental as a Blood for Dracula, as a Paul Morrissey film that's been like out of the hands of people for years, and it's getting a 4K release, and they're going to be actually interviewing Paul Morrissey on it, and he's got a lot of tea to spill. He's a bitter guy about this, and he has reason to be. Like the film itself, the history behind the film, and then you get the soundtrack, and the whole package for that. For me, and anyway, it's worth it because it's more than a film for me. It's what went on beyond the film. Mm-hmm. Because if it was just the film, let's be honest, we'd all still be watching VHS. We're watching DVDs, watching Blu-ray, watching 4K because of the features that they put on there. Mm-hmm. And if we didn't watch the features, then we'd go to Walmart and buy go to the $5 bin and just grab something there. But if somebody's going on a Severin sale or a Vinegar Syndrome sale, those features are a big part of what sells you for those titles. So the thing that Severin sometimes puts some great features on there, sometimes they put in some like short features. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, do I need this as one interview? And sometimes it'll come out really good, like Skinner. If you don't have Skinner, strongly recommend Skinner. Great title. The features on that one really sells the behind the scenes of the film in a way that you wouldn't expect. I'm guessing you got that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great features, but beyond the director and kind of, is he a mob guy type of thing? So that, for stuff like that, for like Blood for Dracula, Retribution, strongly, it's got Alan Howarth like soundtrack. I can't afford to get the one with his autograph, but I'm a massive Alan Howarth fan, and I love soundtracks. I got a bunch from Wall, from Howling with Records, and I treasure them, and I listen to them all the time. So that stuff is big for me. That's the type of stuff that so basically I will buy like full price stuff on a sale day like this, one to kind of to promote the company, and but I won't pick something out just to pick it out. It has to be titles that I like. So if they had like 9 titles here and I didn't like any of the 9 titles, I'm just going to go to the back catalog like you're doing right now, because these aren't your jam. They're not your thing. And nobody should feel like, okay, these are the titles. I gotta buy these. Like, don't let anybody press you to feel like, somebody else says this is good, but I'm not quite sure. Go for what you like. Like I got like one of the reasons it's good to have like 3 people on here is we have very different, varying views, and that's what makes it like way more interesting to talk about these here, because I'm the big fan of Blood for Dracula. You guys aren't. So my overexcitement for it, you guys can even that out with your lack of excitement for it. It's nice, to hear, not to just have like, not just be hyped, not just be a hype guy, just like, okay, I kind of like this. Because when they said post nuke stuff, and I got a ton of post nuke stuff in my collection, I was like, they're my wife's like brand of films, but I'm not quite sure they're totally my brand of films, because she loves this stuff. She loves, like, if it's cheesy Italian and it's got a bunch of explosions or people in like kind of leather outfits on bikes type of thing, going through the post-apocalyptic desert, killing people and robots and all that stuff. Yeah, that's like it. Then I say that's a Hin film. That's what I know right away is her type of stuff. Whereas like if I get a Franco film, I'm watching that alone. So, I know I'm watching it alone.
I love it. That's awesome, man. Well, I hope whatever everybody gets is satisfying to them. I mean, I think that's the most important thing, that people walk away with satisfaction. Like I said with my Christopher Lee box set review, I did not love it, but I genuinely hope whoever has it does enjoy it, because their experience is the important thing. Oh
yeah, like we can like or hate something as much as we want to. If you're like Brad Henderson, for instance, and you wake up and Raiders of Atlantis is one of your favorite movies of all time, then who am I to tell you like, oh man, I really, don't buy Raiders from Atlantis. No, buy what you like. If you're a post-apocalyptic dude, buy that, man. Buy the Marauders bundle. It's gonna be cool.
Should we do some recommendations for like the old stuff?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I got one. It's for Jose too. Werewolf in the Girls' Dormitory.
Oh yeah,
amazing cinematography. Like the cinematography blows my mind in this movie. I don't know what they do. The story is a little nonsensical, but man, I don't know. I was so intrigued when I saw this. I was like, what is going on? This movie's awesome. Have you seen it, Jose?
I've got it on DVD. I feel something weird put it out, or some company like that. So I've got the DVD of that, but I was planning on upgrading. So I'm glad you vouched for it.
Yeah, it's a great one, and it's uncut too. This is its first time uncut, so it'll be your first time seeing it like this. And It's got a neat little comic book in there, photo comic. It's just a little fun thing. But it's written by Ernesto Gastaldi, who wrote a lot of like really cool Italian horror. So always a plus there. Little nonsensical, but still fun. Any other ones, Logan?
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, Dr. Butcher. Dr. Butcher took me back a bit. I was like, whoa, this movie's... I'm not the biggest like Zombie Island, like zombie / cannibal stuff, but man, this movie is bonkers. It is just a bonkers movie. Of course, Zombies 3 and Zombies 4. Zombies 4, it reminded me a lot of Demons. It's like it should have been Demons 3, right? Like it's like the zombies, they look like demons to me. Like Baba's son, Lamberto Bava. This Demons 1 and 2. It'll fit perfectly as a Demons movie more than it would a Zombies movie. But yeah, I dug Zombies 4, and I haven't seen the 5th one, Killer Birds. I have it, but terrible.
Sucks. It's not really about killing birds, and it's not really about zombies.
What's it about? What's it about?
It's about college kids walking around the fucking woods. Sorry, the freaking woods, and that's it. And that's pretty much it. Then they go to a house, and then they hang out in a house, and then you get 10 minutes of some kind of supernatural thing happening, and then movie's over. But don't worry, Logan. It's the experience of having it physically that will make you feel better.
It's the experience to have all of them. Like having what's zombie? Do they have like a zombie one? Like I know it's Dawn of the Dead, but I wonder if they have like That'd be cool if they had like an exclusive slipcover that said zombie one. Because in Zombie 2, was zombie, right? It gets confusing.
Yeah.
Zombie 2 was zombie, right?
Yeah.
Zombie 2 is zombie. Yeah.
Or otherwise known as zombie flesh eaters in the UK.
Right. So it'd be cool to have like all of them, just like zombie 1 through 5. Except I remember buying those on DVD a long time ago, and I don't know. I need them all. I guess it's a collector thing. I guess you need the whole. If you have zombies 1 through 4, you're gonna get the 5th one. It's just one of those things, you know. You're going to do it. I don't know.
You gotta have the completion. I got to. Like I got Zombie 1, Zombie 2, and Zombie 3. I don't have Zombie 5 yet. I got Zombie 4. I don't have Zombie 5 yet. So I'll eventually get it. It's not my favorite. Robert Culp, I think, is in that one. Is it Robert Culp?
Yeah. For very briefly, yeah.
Yeah, like he did. You know,
oh no, Robert Vaughn.
Robert Vaughn. Thank you. Yeah, I knew I was wrong there.
Yeah.
I knew it was a Robert, but yeah, if I get it cheap enough, I get it. It's like it's not one of those. Like I obviously didn't buy it with Vinegar Syndrome, put it out like for like a super. Like I got to get this on day one, right?
Yeah.
Virgin Mind of the Living Dead is a different film than like Zombie 4. Very different film. Virgin Mind of the Living Dead is actually is Franco. And one of his better ones, actually.
Severin released a lot of Fulci, right? I mean, most of his library seems like it's on Severin. Is that correct?
Well, he released a few. There's a lot of Fulci out there. That's the problem, right? A lot. He did a lot of movies. I'd like to see them eventually get some of his westerns, stuff like that, for the apocalypse. That's that type of stuff. But I'm not sure. Any more recommendations? Like,
I was just and I was just going to pick up the 2 latest Fulci movies that are currently available for sale now, and probably Devil's Honey. So yeah, I don't know if I recommend those movies, but that's what I'm picking up. But I recommend Dr. Butcher and Werewolf in the Girls' Dormitory for sure. Plus Zombie 3 and Zombie 4. Zombie 3 is great. I really like Zombie 3. I don't know. It's the whole like nuclear like ooze thing that they did there. I thought it looked cool. I liked the vibe, and they like massacred that zombie kid. So brutal. That was that one, right? Where it's this assault rifle this little kid.
Yeah,
he's like, he was a zombie, but it looked so brutal.
Right.
You want a fun zombie film, and which I'm gonna recommend is Andre Bianchi's Burial Ground.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's nuts. It's cheesy. It's crazy. It's got a guy that looks like he was Dario Argento put into a washer for too long and shrunk down. We know.
No, that kid. He didn't look like a kid.
Yeah, mama. But insane movie. But that's a recommendation for me. If you don't have it, guys, Burial Ground for sure. Andre Bianchi.
That's Vinegar, though, isn't it?
No, that's Severin.
Oh, Severin. Okay.
Yeah. Bloody Moon is a good one. I actually don't own Bloody Moon yet, which is I should own it. This here box set with the CDs, which is fantastic. I was actually listening to one of the songs before I came on here with these guys. And I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Anything, the Giallo set, All the Colors of the Dark, All the Colors of Giallo. Definitely recommend those. Those are really, really good. The Giallo set is freaking incredible. And they used to be put together. Unfortunately, they're not now. If you're like a Franco person, and like you're into Franco, and you picked up Shining Sex, and you pick up the new ones, so you're probably going to like them if you're buying them anyway. I don't need to sell them on them. You're already going to get them. I think anybody that buys Franco at this point from Severin, unless you're new coming into the sale for the first time, they know. Like they're just, it's automatic. They go, oh yeah. So what about you? You have any?
I would recommend one that the first Severin title that really blew me away was Santa Sangre. It's not going to be on sale, the 4K, but it is a masterpiece film. It is and David Gregory agrees with me. It's the best. He calls it the crown jewel of the Severin collection. Santa Sangre is a masterpiece on all levels. I think it is Jodorowsky's best movie, and it is a wonderful film. I cannot recommend that enough. It is. I actually just got the 4K set, I got it from a friend, so I got a discount because he didn't want it. But it's great. It is a masterpiece, and everybody should watch it. Anybody who calls themselves a film lover should experience that movie. Also, The Vi, or The V, however you pronounce it. It's a Russian film. Amazing. Another really unique, visually stunning movie that surprised the hell out of me. I was really impressed by that movie, and I think the Blu-ray, it just looks fantastic, and it's a solid film. Oh, somebody mentioned Turkey Shoot. Yeah, Turkey Shoot's really good. That's a fun movie. And yeah, I guess that would be it. And then Burial Ground, obviously, I think is one of the best zombie movies ever made. It's so much fun. And The Changeling, of course. The Changeling is really good. So The Vi, Burial Ground.
Fine.
What can I say? Oh, and Santa Sangre. Those and Changeling. Am I missing one? I'm sure I'm missing one. But those that I just mentioned you cannot go wrong. They are solid films and just cinematic masterpieces, in my opinion.
Which makes me think, if you're a fan, Asylum is a great anthology film.
Yes. Asylum.
I think Hotels the Uncanny, like the documentary they did on anthology films, really freaking good. Really love that. And it came with 2 extra films. If you buy the limited edition, it comes with 3 extra films. So that your video was a like hidden box set.
Yeah.
See, I watch stuff.
There you go.
Is that set still available? That Asylum.
It will be during the sale. It's
not the set, just the movies individually.
Okay.
Yeah.
For which one?
I got the Beast Must Die, the remastered one. I would not recommend that movie. I would not recommend that movie.
Then again, I saw it when I was a kid, right?
I like
that Werewolf Minute. Was like, I love the hell out of the Werewolf Minute, you know. And now, before we reveal the werewolf, we're going to stop
like
for the Werewolf Minute. Right? It's so cool. And we cheat you because I won't say, but there's a bit of a cheat with who the werewolf is. Yeah. But it's, you know, and it's such a different film. And now The Screaming Starts is good too. That's actually got a lot of people pass on that one, but it's actually fun. You know, Ogilvy's in it, Stephanie Beacham, great cast, great visuals. There's this one character sequence, you know, with the scene. It's a famous scene from the film with the eyes and the dude. But I like that one. Again, not for everybody. I do recommend Blood on Satan's Claw. The limited edition's coming out of that one again, and that's a great folk horror, especially if later on they're going to put out the Keira Janice folk horror documentary. This is one that you're gonna want to have.
Iceman reminded me, Killer Crocodile 1 and 2. What a set! The first one is way better, but it might as well get both of them. Those are really fun movies.
Oh yeah, they're super cheap.
And Asylum is actually my favorite anthology. I think all the stories in that one really work, and it's a solid ass movie. So that's one you can't go wrong with as well.
Great Hammer ripoff. Ripoff.
Yeah.
Well, and honestly, there wouldn't be much of a Hammer later, like Gothic Hammer, if it wasn't for the guys from Amicus, because the guys that started Amicus wrote a script for Frankenstein, and they went to the Hammer to do the Frankenstein script, right? So the Hammer passed on the script and decided to make their own Frankenstein. So they made The Curse of Frankenstein. The guys from Amicus, well, screw that. They went and they did a Frankenstein film anyway, their own one, and but we had the idea. So suddenly Amicus comes about. They're going to do their own stuff, but with Amicus stuff, they try to make it like so. You could take a teen or something to the film. You notice that a lot of Amicus films are actually like don't go above PG-13, and even though like some of the scary stuff in there, it still like sticks it like you can probably watch it with a bit of a younger audience. That was on purpose, actually. It was only later on when they split up that you had people that were actually that they did R-rated films.
To be fair, those Hammer movies could have been PG too, though. Like it's like is Dracula rated R? No, like I mean, if it's rated R, it shouldn't be rated R. It'll be rated
Vampire
PG
Circus,
too.
man.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking about that's like second level, like that's like the second tier stuff. I was talking about like when they first came out. There's no way those should be rated R, but Alligator Killer Croc doesn't even come close to Alligator. Alligator's 100 times better. No offense,
yeah.
you guys like Killer Croc, but no.
Of course.
Well, yeah, John Sayles wrote Alligator, so it's going to be on a different level.
Yeah,
They're fun.
love
to watch.
Alligator.
I don't have the Black Cat, the Lucio Cosi one, so I can't recommend or recommend that one. It's not on sale this time, though. I don't think, is it?
It is. It is. I'm going to be grabbing it actually.
I want it. It's
Black
like the
Cat?
other Third Mother's trilogy.
The Fulci Black Cat.
Oh, Cosi.
Coetzee's Black Cat.
Fulci Black Cat.
There's like 800 Black Cats. So
Yeah.
But this one was written by Derry Nicolotti, who was married to Dario Argento, and in my opinion, is a huge part of Dario Argento's success in the early films because she wrote a lot of stuff, and it shows when she's not with them. And so she wrote her own end to the Three Mothers trilogy. Obviously, he did Mother of Tears later on.
She wrote Suspiria, right?
Yeah, it's like she wrote with they both wrote together. But Black Cat is her version of how she would have wanted it to end. So I want for that, So that's very interesting for me.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, in terms of what you get of what's now on sale from older stuff. Revenge of the Living Dead Girls, Enigma, Demonia, The Beast Must Die. These are all standards. Shining Sex, Fulci for Fake, Cruel Jaws, if anybody's looking to grab that. Massacre in Dinosaur Valley, Primitives, The Black Cat, Patrick Still Lives, Shock Treatment, Theater Bazaar, Plague Town, Attic Expeditions, Castle of the Creeping Flesh, Family Portraits, and Tales of the Uncanny. That's all the stuff that was from last year that's available for sale now.
Tales from the Uncanny. What's that?
That's the kind of the secret box set where it's a documentary about anthology movies, but it includes 2 anthology movies with it. So you get 3 movies for the price of 1. It's pretty good. I recommend it.
And the limited edition will be back in stock during the sale. With the extra film. So if you want to get with the extra film.
It's BS in my opinion, man. I don't like it that they do that. The convention stock. I mean, and that's something that's, I know it's a sticking point for a lot of people. The convention stock limited edition game. I don't know. People
go back and forth on it. I understand it to an extent, but it does bother me when it's hey, here's the title. Oh yeah, I'd like to get that. I won't get it right now, but I'll get it later. But it's only available for 3 days. I'm like, son of a, Yeah, it's frustrating. Because there's times I'm going into this sale with a lot less than I normally go into for a sale. So I'm like a lot of people on here, I'm picking back and forth. Okay, I'm going to get this. I'm not getting this thing. So I'm going to be back and forth with my cart. You'll see if you guys are on later tonight. You'll see me doing the whole struggling and pulling out the little bit that's left of my hair, trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to get. So unlike you guys, I don't have my game plan down yet. I was waiting till today to find out because I was pretty. They didn't say that the book was going to be U.S. only. I'm like, okay, maybe the book's not going to be U.S. only. And if I buy the book, then I know I'm going to want the post-apocalyptic ones I'm not sure about. Right. But now the book isn't available. And I'm going to say this right now, stop the crap with the U.S. only book releases. If you can, especially for a sale, if you don't for a bundle, on a regular basis, you're trying to get in as many people for a sale as possible. There's a lot of international buyers. There's a lot of not just Canada, but people in the UK, people in Sweden, all over. I get viewers from all over that are going to the sale. And I understand, okay, certain things can't, we can't get this or we can't get this to another country if there's a rights issue. But if it's just shipping, that's causing the reason that they can't do the books, then get your shipping shit together and figure it out, because you're a company and you're shipping stuff all over the world. If it's because of shipping, if it's because of rights issues, I get it, understand. Just let us know, and let us know. Don't tell us the day before the sale or a few hours before. So let us know ahead of time, because a lot of people are trying to work out their lists, work out what they're going to get. If it's a race issue, I get it. I understand it. If it's a shipping issue, figure out your shipping. You're a company. It's been a few years. That's what you got to do.
Right. That's the thing. I mean, they're not new guys. They should be able to figure out shipping. I mean, recently, Grindhouse Video stopped shipping international. So that's a headache. for people across the pond who wanted to grab titles, or even people in Canada, you can't anymore from there. Severin should have this covered. It shouldn't be something that is. We didn't even plan for this. Like, how do you not have that part figured out? I agree, and that sucks that you can't take part in all the goodies.
Must be a rights issue.
Yeah,
I'm guessing they only have U.S. rights, not North American rights.
I don't know. I mean, North America is Canada, so I would imagine if they can't ship it just a little farther, I don't think it's rights. I think they're just being lazy about shipping, and that it's more expensive.
And it's coming from France. This is a book. This is a book coming from France too. So, come on, guys. Like the Fab books, I like the chart. The thing there. So we can't ship the Fab. You can. Yes, you can. I can buy it on Amazon. Yes, you can ship it here. But you didn't ship it because shipping companies are also blamed since they raised their prices. Then adjust your shipping prices. If a person that's international or Canada does not want to pay the extra shipping price, that's fine. They don't have to. But at least if you give them that option to do it, okay, then that's the decision is that you can make up your mind. You vote with your dollar, whether you want it or not. But if it's taken out of your hands, then it can be really frustrating. Like literally, I don't like Milligan very much. Like I'm honest about that. I liked Fleshpound on 42nd Street. It was probably my favorite film that he did because I liked the way the characters were written. I write and characterization, and that's really important to me. And just sounding natural. That film sounded natural. But a lot of these films, like, werewolves are here, rats are here, the werewolves are coming. Oh, no, the werewolves are here, the rats are coming. Like, the rats are going to be a big deal after you get werewolves. Right. But, no, I thought, do I need a lot of hunchbacks in my life? And I realized I didn't.
Yeah, it's a lot of hunchbacks.
But maybe if that book would have been available, because he had a fascinating life, that would have been interesting. That would have sold me on it. But like that same with the Eurocrypt Christopher Lee. I knew that there wasn't going to have a lot of Christopher Lee in it because it's his European stuff. But the book of Terence Fisher interested me, and they might have sold me on it with that book. But because that was a block for me, I didn't grab it. Now back when they did the Adamson set, and they put like a bunch of stuff in the Adamson one, I was one of the very first people to go out and buy the biggest, most expensive Adamson bundle that was out there. So I am their target market, and they're cutting off their target market with certain titles. And I know I'm not the only person, obviously, from another country that picks up this stuff, that picks up the bigger bundles. But when you literally just can't have it, it's annoying.
Yeah. Is that Terence Fisher book still available by any chance?
No.
I think they sold it. Like you can still buy it.
They canceled all their bundles, so I don't think you'll be able to find it. And it's odd because the box set was about Christopher Lee, not Terence Fisher. So why the hell are we getting a Terence Fisher book? And again, that's my problem with that whole box set. Most of the special features were about other people. What? And all the Christopher Lee specials were on one disc. Like what?
Well, the thing. See, now it doesn't make sense that with the Terence Fisher book, after all.
Apparently, yeah. I mean, it doesn't make it any better, but I guess I should have caught the hint that it wasn't really a Christopher Lee box set, man. Jesus.
So Christopher Lee's not in those movies too much then? Those
he's at best a cameo. There's one movie where he's in only.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's that's the most disappointing part, and the fact that the movies aren't. If they were good on their own, well, fine. They're fine castle movies, and Christopher Lee is just like the spice. He's barely in them, and the movies aren't great. And there's even one where he's the freaking lead, and they don't even use his voice. It's the Sherlock Holmes one. They have a guy dubbing his voice in English. Why? So you killed his performance. It's so weird. It's such a weird box of movies. That's a whole other road to go down. So I do not recommend that, though.
I think the one that you like the most is the one that I got on another set. They put in a set called Hemisphere Horrors, and in the box set they put like 2 movies, like as a bonus double feature. And I think the Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism or something that was in was one of the movies. So I like that movie, but
That's the best one. That's the best
of the set. Then I got the best of the set.
Well, and even in that movie, he's barely in that. He's in the movie for 5 minutes, but it's a good movie on its own. The set design is really good. The main characters are really likable, and the plotting is, there's no boring parts where people just sitting around. There's one movie, it's in black and white, where it's just a bunch of these beatnik kids partying in a castle for 20 minutes, like drinking wine and dancing. What the hell is that? I don't want to watch that. But Torture Chamber is a really good eerie castle movie, and he comes in really towards the end for 5 minutes, but it works on its own. So that is the best movie in there. Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
But yeah, so guys, if you got the Hemisphere Horror box set, you can probably bypass the Christopher Lee one because you got the best film.
Yeah.
But it depends. I mean, like if you're a real big Christopher Lee fan and you just want like some like shorter stuff he did, like more cameo stuff, maybe I'd wait for a sale on that one though. Wait till Black Friday to grab your Eurocrypt if you want to grab it. If you want to get with the book, because the book apparently is interesting. Rigby did the book, right?
Yeah, Jonathan Rigby.
Yeah, so that's not too bad.
No, that's the best. Actually, the best supplemental is the book, because it gives you don't need. I mean, I guess at this point you don't really need another book, because it is 90 pages of Christopher Lee's career, and it's perfect. So that is the best thing in there.
The book was awesome.
Dry, right? That's my problem.
Was that?
Oh, me?
Was that? Yeah.
Oh, I said as long as it's not too dry. Like but again, yeah, I'd probably like it if it is dry.
Well, it is pretty dry. It's pretty much like, oh, in 1962 he did this, in 1963 he did that, and then he moved to Sweden and then appeared in these movies. So it is fairly dry. It doesn't really paint a picture of the man. It's an expanded filmography, but it is the best thing in the box, unfortunately. But the commentaries are really good. The commentaries on Torture Chamber are really good with Troy and Nathaniel, who I'm gonna have on. I'm gonna have on Hollywood. I got in touch with them and they said yes.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna have them on and talking movies. I'm gonna have them on separately, so we'll kind of revisit the Tim Lucas kind of thing. But yeah, there's some, I don't know. This is going to be a different sale. I think people are excited. I mean, like overall, if these are a solid bunch of films, if you like these genres, like if you're into the post-apocalyptic, that genre type of stuff, you're probably going to enjoy these films. If you're a Lucio Fulci fan, Warriors of Year 2072 or whatever it was called when I saw it, which I think was called something else actually. Then that'll be fun. And if you're getting the book, those films are going to be great to go along with the book. If you're a Jess Franco fan, you don't have to sell yourself on the Jess Franco ones. You're gonna grab them. Masturbating Gunman. If you're a big fan of like gunmen that masturbate, how do you put that? If you're a big fan of like these pinky like violence films, I guess, then it'll be fun because it's a movie that doesn't take itself seriously. So I think it actually knows what it is. So it's not going to be gross for the sake of being gross, except in the one scene where he takes the guy's like intestines and makes a lasso out of it. Sort of. That's kind of cool. But yeah,
it's like the Pinky film. It's like Pinky films, huh?
Exactly.
I can get behind that. Pinky films are all right
because that's what it is. Like Logan, it's like it's got an Australian director, Mark Savage, right? And it's done by an Asian filmmaker, like wrote it. So it's got the feel to it, and that's what it is homage to. It's like shot over in Australia, but it's like got the kind of like the over the top violence and sexuality that the Pinky films would have. So it's fun. It's not an expensive title either. As far as the titles go, this is their cheapest. It's like $20. So for a brand new title, a Blu-ray, which does have features on, it's got a commentary and a couple other features as well. That's not too bad. Like as far as they go, like for going for a blind buy, $20 isn't too bad for like a blind buy.
Does the sale start 12 Eastern?
It does actually. It starts 12 Eastern Standard Time, which is 1:00 here. So that's going to be fun. So I'm going to be looking at a lot of different stuff. I still have no idea. Like I don't think I'm going to know until like the site. Hopefully the site works. Please.
Yeah,
God.
no kidding. Holy crap! I totally forgot about that, Aaron. Right when you mentioned it, I'm like, oh.
Last year, guys. Last year, I did a video. Logan was almost on the video, but I didn't know how to do this fancy stuff that I'm doing right now. By the way, as I forgot to do this because I'm a bad YouTuber. Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Show, blah blah blah. But like the video, come on. At least do that. There's 73 people here and there's 48 likes. You guys can do better. You know you can. And there's 2 dislikes. So those other 2 people, I'm in your headspace. Thank you very much. But I don't know. I mean, like, I'm looking at the newer titles. I want Blood for Dracula. I want Retribution. Those 2 are my go-tos. Should we talk about the clearance items? There's a bunch of like items that are going to be on sale as well, including this here snazzy T-shirt. That's going to be on sale. And their T-shirts, when they go on clearance, are pretty freaking cheap. I think they were like $5 or $6, right, for the clearance ones last year. Yeah, like $5-6 for clearance shirts.
Very good.
Yeah, but you got to go in fast with the T-shirts. The sizes go incredibly quickly. They have usually have a few of each, but definitely going early when it comes to it. If you want to get a T-shirt or something like that, like me, like I got to go in early. I got the BAM T-shirt, which I'm sure you now know what BAM means.
Yes.
So love that T-shirt. But I'm a medium, and I had to get the small for the BAM. So I'm like, okay, at least I can put it up on my wall or something because I love the artwork on it and I like the BAM thing. But for some reason, it actually fit. I was like, okay. So I guess this was like a larger small. So because
Aaron basically refuses to wash it.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not washing it. No, I've washed it twice and I can still wear it. So yeah, right on. It didn't shrink on me. But there's a whole bunch of things. I'm going to bring it up here now. I'm trying to get it here because there's a bunch of stuff on clearance. Are you guys getting any of the clearance stuff?
Maybe. Well, just movies. I don't really buy T-shirts anymore. It's just something I've decided to do in terms of just scaling back on buying stuff. Yeah. So I probably won't get a T-shirt. I don't like the way the stickers look. So I probably will not. Logan?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't really wear T-shirts but I mean, I don't know. I mean, if it's $5 and it looks cool, I don't know. That sounds super cheap to me.
If you buy the box
set, something like that, yeah. I mean,
but here's the items that are going to be on sale that we know about right now. The Changeling ball is going to be on sale, so that's kind of a neat little because the ball is seen from Changeling. The Dark Amulet enamel pin from Dark Waters is going to be on sale. The Horror of Party Beats enamel pin, it looks kind of like a creature with hot dogs in his mouth. The Threads poster, because you want to say, I'm a really depressing person. You want to put that poster up on your wall. Fantastic. Zombie 3 T-shirt, iffy on, but that's going to be on sale. Death Warmed Up, I got that one. That's a nice T-shirt, actually. Not my favorite movie, but a good T-shirt. No. Death Warmed Up, art print, is there as well. St. Bernard T-shirt. Still, I haven't seen St. Bernard. Uncanny Art print 1 and print 2. The Heroes enamel pin for Gwendolyn and the Villains enamel pin for Gwendolyn. That's kind of cool. Inner Vision ornament. It's like a Christmas ornament with Inner Vision written on it. Satan's Saddest patch. I got that over there. Carnival Magic T-shirt, which is so insane that I love it because it's just Alex and Markov. And it doesn't that's what it's got on it. And it's got it's a white T-shirt. It's got red rims. It's very 70s looking, retro 70s looking. But it's people look at the shirt and you're like, what's that? What the fuck is that? And I love that. So Paranoia T-shirts there, the one I'm wearing. Wax Mask keychain. I'll show you that, guys, in a second. Blood and Flesh Fangs, which is basically just plastic fangs, guys. Strange Voice of Mrs. Ward photo comic. I do want that. Horrors of Spider Island photo comic. I kind of want that too. I do have the So Sweet, So Perverse photo comic. If you're buying the Lindsay Baker box set, I think it comes to the comic. I'm not quite sure. Check that out. There's a Satan's Saddest T-shirt as well. There's a Vi T-shirt from Paul Bear Press. That one might be a little bit more expensive. I'd say probably around $7. And there's a peanut butter solution poster. Those are the ones. That's the items that they've listed so far. So anywhere between around like 5 to 7. Like John's right there, probably around that when it comes to the T-shirts. And I think it depends on size too, right?
Yeah. Peanut butter solution is another one I do recommend. If you have not seen that movie, that will blow your mind. Even if you don't like it, you will never forget it, and in a positive way. It's a very unique film.
Is it like Big Trouble in Little China? It looks like that. Looks like I don't know.
It's a kids movie. It's akin to something like Mac and Me. It's weird like that. It's undescribable, and I would not want to tell you anything about the plot because I think you should discover it like a present.
Is it mystic? Is it mystic? It feels mystic.
Kind of. It's supernatural to a degree, but it's not really about that. It's very strange.
What's the best way to put it? It's a kids movie that when you watch it, you're like, was this made for kids? That's a good way to describe Peanut Butter Solution. I actually really like the film.
Yeah, good. It's a good movie.
But yeah, there's the other one too, like they put out. Which, if you like the stuff, there's like the what's it called?
The animation.
Yeah, the animation one. You know it's the really depressing one.
Yeah, I don't
know.
Don't
Think it's depressing because like, oh look, so cutesy in English animation, but that's depressing as hell, man. That's really.
Yeah, I can't with that. I watched. I don't know if you guys have seen Graveyard of the Fireflies.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit, man!
Never again.
Oh my god! Yeah, amazing.
Never again.
Never
time watch.
Oh,
if you have little kids, I have like a son, and I have like a daughter, like 3 years younger. It's like that's like the same age of these freaking kids in Grave of the Fireflies. I'm like, I couldn't imagine watching that now. I couldn't imagine it.
No.
You have to watch that when you don't have kids. You have to watch that like when you're 19. So
right.
like, I mean,
yeah, for sure. Do you think we're gonna get merchandise for all the new stuff? I think they probably drop something.
I hope something drops. I mean, like, I'm expecting if we get a drop, we'll probably get a post-apocalyptic one, maybe a Raiders of Atlantis, maybe something for Blood for Dracula. For those two for sure. I don't think we're going to get like any Jess Franco merch, but something post-apocalyptic to go along with this. But though, wouldn't they have put a bundle out? Wouldn't they put that in one of the bundles? That's
why.
Yeah. What I really want is a Alina Romay Hall of Fame pin, but it's not her face. It's her vagina with like a cigarette in it. That would sell out quick. Are you kidding me?
See,
I would buy that.
There's a Lena Romay film, not done by Jess Franco, called what's it called? I wish my dad was here now. One of those nights. Limousine was it Limousine Lady or Chauffeur? It's really
Rolls Royce Baby.
Yes, thank you, Rolls Royce Baby. Yeah, you think it's going to be a Franco? It's actually raunchier than the Franco films.
Yeah,
but that's where you get. If you want to see even more Lena Romay, check that film out, guys.
That's a great dude. I found that on the Full Moon streaming site. And like, I've heard of this.
Is it uncut?
Yeah, it.
Wow.
Full close-ups. I'm like, what? Okay. I was surprised. Yeah.
I'm a huge Lena Romay fan. I like her and like Solid Miranda. There you go, guys. If you want to get in on Franco and you want it to be not too challenging or weird or whatever, get yourself the Solid Miranda, Jess Franco films. Pick up She Killed in Ecstasy and pick up Vampire Lesbos, because those are, you don't even have to like Franco for a lot of those films. They're more the solid like storyline Francos. To put it to you in another way, Franco put out a Dracula film with Christopher Lee called Count Dracula.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Vampire Lesbos is better.
Oh sure, because there's lesbians, but
it's better. Like it's better structured, better acted, and those are big actors. Vampire Lesbos doesn't, right. But Solid Miranda is good in it. Is really good in it, and She Killed in Ecstasy too. is actually is solid, and it's kind of a throwback to like the days of the earlier Howard Vernon stuff, the Delbac, Dr. Z, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think she's solid in both of those, but those are ones like if you're not a huge Franco fan and you're going in and you've never bought it before, you can easily buy those two. And I think you're going to have a better time than you would if you bought something that's a bit more out there. Like, because some of them are, like I'll admit, I love Franco, but some of them are, I would not show to like just average person. Oh, let me put on House of Lost Women. This is going to be your first Franco film. No, I'm not going to do that to you. And I like the film. It's just that I don't think it's something for everybody, man.
There's a lot happening this weekend too. I don't know if you guys are aware. Eureka has a Fritz Lang sale going on now.
Oh, I saw that. It makes me cry. There's so many damn sales. This is the only one I can go into.
I hear you. Then 88 Films has a 33% off flash sale going on, which I think is only today. So I would go over to 88 Films if you guys are interested in getting some stuff. I got pretty much everything I need, but
I love 88 Films.
They do some great stuff.
Yeah,
I love 88 Films.
I'm still flabbergasted by their choice for the first like North American feature.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like
what's that?
It's going to be the Gestapo's Last Orgy is the first North American 88 Films release.
Wow, they're releasing here, huh?
Yeah,
good for them.
It's just a weird one, middle of a media there. Hey, man.
It is.
But it's a weird friggin' like title for like a first release. Because they do so much. They got so many like Italian films and Asian films, and they got the Slasher Classic Collection. And then they're like, we want to really like get over it in North America. What do you think we should do? Well, Nazi exploitation. Everybody loves that,
right?
I do, but the average Joe, it's not exactly what you put to like get over with like a mainstream audience.
What was Arrow Video's first U.S. release? Do you remember? Was it
the box? Didn't they do a box set like for the people that like were bought in? Because they did like kind of a what you call it? What am I? They did like a kind of the the GoFundMe type, so that type of thing.
They did.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
That's right. That was really smart of them too.
And what's his name? The Vladimir Borovsky, whatever the hell his name is, the guy that did Moral Tales and The Beast. So there was a box set of his. That was one.
Those are early, but I'm just trying to think what was the very first title they did. I can't remember. I have it. I know I have it. I had all their early stuff.
Blood and Black Lace was Arrow's first U.S. release. Eisman says there.
No, because they didn't have the rights to it. Remember, there was a whole mess up with that release. If you remember correctly, that was supposed to be their first release, but they had rights issues and held it back. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then they said Day of Anger, so maybe it was Day of Anger then.
Day of Anger.
Could have been Day of Anger,
which I do have. That was a good one.
It could have been Day of Anger.
Last Orgy is one of the best Nazi exploitation films. So, guys, if you're going to be picking up the 88 films like Gestapo's Last Orgy, then check out The Beast and Heat, which has a really great like 90-minute Nazi exploitation documentary. So should be fairly cheap on the sale. And if you grab that, then you can go in, watch your Nazi exploitation documentary, see if that's your jam or not. It's an easy way to go in. Like documentaries on genres are really good ways to go in and see if it's going to be your thing. I recommend it. Like when I say, if you want to go like a try, don't buy type thing, get a documentary on the genre or something like that. Watch that, get a feel for what those films are going to be like, and see if it's going to be what you like. So hard to do with Giallos because you're like, I got this Giallo documentary, and then you're watching like, I know the ending to so many Giallos right now, because they spoil them a lot. But definitely check it out.
Yeah, what I don't get is why are they? Again, it must be a rights issue or just like whatever's easier to get their hands on. Although I know Retribution was sort of a handful to track down, but stuff like the Ilsa movies. I mean, talking about Nazi exploitation, an Ilsa box set is a freaking no-brainer. I don't understand why that's not the first thing they go to.
That's a day one. Ilsa, whoever puts it Ilsa box set got my money. Those are some of my favorites.
Yeah.
You've seen the Ilsa films, right? What I love about the first Ilsa film is the lead, the male lead in the film, his curse. Do you remember the curse?
I don't remember the curse. His wiener?
Sort of basically the idea behind Ilsa is like she brings in guys from the concentration camp and she makes love to them. We'll say makes love. But when they finish, she usually kills them. But he has the curse of forever lasting. We'll put it like that. So forever lasting. So because of that, she can't kill him. So it's it's fun.
Yeah.
I would love to see those on get a good release. 4K also release. There you go.
There you go. Exactly. Or like Warlock said, Russ Meyer. I mean, his movies aren't amazing, but they certainly have their fans, and they're certainly like I think A Faster Pussycat is a fantastic movie. I wish he did more movies sort of in that vein instead of like his boobalicious films. But I love his boobalicious films, so I would love a box set from Russ Meyer. Why is that such a hurdle for these people to put out? There's got to be something, right? I mean, it can't be. I can think of it.
There's Russ Meyer's estate is very, very, very hard to work with, but hell, we're getting Blood for Dracula from Paul Morrissey and Flesh for Frankenstein. If you can get the movies out of Paul Morrissey's hands and put it on 4K, somebody's got to be able to get the Russ Meyer. Like it's been hell. Like Arrow has been wanting forever to upgrade to a Blu-ray set, but no dice for. They just wanted way too much for the films, and there's like selling their own Blu-ray editions that they make on their own on Russ Meyer's like estate's website. Yeah. So you can buy them like that, but I'm waiting for like a good Russ Meyer set, and I do like Russ Meyer. I think that as a filmmaker, like he does some cheesy fun stuff, but he's a good filmmaker. Like Roger Ebert, liked Russ Meyer a lot. He actually worked for Russ Meyer. He actually did films. But like some of the like really crazy ones, like Vixens and like Valley of the Ultra Vixen, that type of thing. They're so insane, and Up is so nuts that it's got this like kind of weird genius to it that you're like, this is nuts, but I cannot take my eyes off the damn screen. Yeah. And like from early stuff, like sometimes, yes, there's big breasted girls, that's the thing, but he's got so much weirdness into his films that just keeps you watching. And for me, the worst thing a movie can do, don't bore me. Like do anything, like get my attention, shock me, titillate me, interest me, excite me. Don't freaking bore me, because I am gone. When you bore me, that's it. That's the cardinal sin for a movie for me. Don't bore me.
And that's my thing with Jess Franco, man. He bores me.
Yeah.
That's just it. Like there's movies for everybody. So, but no, don't if Jess Franco's not your guy, if you're not sure on that and you don't like him, there's other stuff to buy. Like just because like I'll like something or somebody else likes something, if it's not your jam, man, there's gonna be lots of stuff here in the sale, like from exploitation, like films. If you like the film, by the way, Felicity is kind of neat. It's a Blu-ray. It was really cheap on the last sale, and I think I got it for $5. The neat thing about it was like this exploitation, kind of like coming of age, like sex exploitation type of like film. But one of the neat things about it was there was 2 Intervision films as well called The ABCs of Love and Sex, and there's another one, right? And both of them come as bonus features on the Felicity Blu-ray with commentaries for every one of the films. So if you find that for like $5, Felicity's a decent film, and the other ones are just like bonuses. But just to watch, because I'm not big on a lot of Mondo films, and that's what they really are. The other 2 are like kind of Mondo films, but for the commentaries alone, makes it interesting.
Okay.
So that's kind of one that flies under the radar a lot.
Looks like
I'm looking to get Christina too. Do you know anything about that one? The one with Joel Shepard?
Honestly, I haven't seen it in ages. So if I went in to watch Christina now, I'll be going in blind because I don't remember it. I do remember. I really like Joel Shepard, and
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. There's a lot of sales this weekend. It's gonna be a crazy weekend, man. I don't know. I know you're not buying anything from Kino, right, Aaron?
They broke my heart, man. They broke my heart.
Yeah.
Like, I'll buy stuff from Kino. There's stuff coming out. Like I'm gonna buy stuff from them again. It's just like I won't get into it here, but they hurt me. They did. As a company, they hurt me.
They hurt you? Why?
Yeah. I won't get into it right now. Well, I'll tell you off camera. But yeah, it was a bit of a runaround.
Yeah.
They're doing some W.C. Fields releases, Kino, right?
Probably. That sounds like something they do.
Yeah.
I like Kino. Kino's become one of my favorite labels, man. Most of the stuff they have is interesting to me. Spaghetti westerns, noir. Lost from the 80s and 90s that I remember fondly. They just put out Career Opportunities with the amazing Jennifer Connelly in it. Stuff.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff. I got a bunch of Kino in my collection, and I don't not buy Kino. It's still a little raw, but I actually do recommend. Like if you're a collector, there's a lot of great releases.
Yeah,
that I would recommend.
Biggles, remember that one?
Oh yeah.
Blast from the Past, that movie.
Yes.
This movie, I love it.
Highway to Hell, right there. Everybody messes it, but Highway to Hell is a fantastic little film that unfortunately not enough people see.
Such a good movie, and I remember thinking about that movie and thinking, man, this would be a perfect Vinegar Syndrome title because it hits all the buttons. And then I found it on the Kino site. I'm like, oh, okay, well, good. Somebody put it out.
Yeah.
It's so good. And Miracle Mile. I mean, there's so many good things on there that are worth not just revisiting, but rewatching and owning.
The Shazam serial, which was freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
They had a lot of.
Has anybody put out Jennifer Connelly's like 7 Minutes to Heaven yet?
I don't know that one. Is that an older one?
Yeah, it's one of her early ones. When I was a teenager, I guess. Not so teenager, but yeah, that's probably a teenager when I saw it. So Jennifer Connelly, I think, is one of her earlier ones. Not as early as like Phenomenon, but like kind of around there. It's one that I really liked when I was younger, and as like most kids my age growing up, like I definitely had like Jennifer Connelly. She was,
Sure,
Jennifer Connelly, man, she still is.
She's a fox.
She is definitely interesting. I'll tell you that much right now.
I think I like younger Jennifer Connelly, like Mulholland Falls, I think it was. Gangster movie. She was in that. Rocketeer. That's sort of my prime Jennifer Connelly enjoyment era in cinema. To be completely sexist, but she's a solid actress. Absolutely a solid actress.
Oh, and yeah, she's always been like, that's the thing. She was good from the beginning. 7 Minutes to Heaven's a good little film, and she's good in it right from the beginning. Somebody mentioned, Jerry L mentioned Video Nasties. I really feel bad that I didn't mention this. The Video Nasties volumes 1 and 2 DVD sets, if you do not have those, they are 110% must have in your collection. And don't say I'm going to wait for them to come on Blu-ray or something. They're probably never going to come on Blu-ray, but they are fantastic documentaries. The first disc, it's 3 disc sets. The first disc is the documentary. The second 2 discs are these trailer tapes, and each of the trailers is introduced. It's almost like getting a second documentary with it. It is fantastic. And if you don't have them and you like the Video Nasty era, they're the best documentaries that were ever made on that era.
Awesome. I'm going to grab that for sure, man. That sounds good.
Oh,
super cheap.
Yeah, it should be $10, $11.
Should be super cheap.
Yeah, it'll be one of the cheap ones. That's the thing, and it's a 3 disc set. And at one time, I think when they were doing the free, around a couple years ago, they did this thing where you bought so many, and you get 1, 2, or 3 titles for free. And I remember I got Ashante and I think it was Wild Geese and the Stuntman. Those were the 3 titles I got.
That's right. That's Stuntman. That's such a good movie, man.
But some people got, like, when they ran out of those, some people got the Video Nasty sets for free, and I was like, oh man, that is kind of cool. Kung Fu trailers, that'd be cheap too.
Yeah. What about well, how is Ashanti? Because that's sort of on my list, but just as if I can't think of anything else to add.
Honestly, I haven't it's been years since I've seen it, and I haven't watched it since I got it. So I can't give a recommendation. I wish I could.
Right.
If anybody here in the chat can, definitely do it. But it's kind of an adventure film, if I remember correctly. But it's been years ago. It's like asking me to remember the 4 feathers right now. Just not gonna do it.
Yeah, it sounded cool, man. Michael Caine is in it. It sounded like a fun little adventure movie. Very different from what they do now, but I'm most likely grabbing that and Wild Geese. Maybe the Zulu movie. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
There's some interesting stuff. I mean, they put out a lot of really unique stuff over the years. Like, people know them for Jess Franco. I know them for Lucio Fulci, but they have a pretty eclectic mix of titles as you're going through there. This is an Emmanuel film that's not going to be on the Black Emmanuel set, and that is Emmanuel and Francois. So if there ever was an Emmanuel film that I would recommend, it's an Italian one, and the difference between the regular Emmanuel titles, I've said this before, and the 10 Emmanuel titles is you'll know the Italian ones because there's one N as opposed to 2 N's in the other titles, or the name Manuel. But this is one that I bought to get up to a shipping limit, and I wasn't sure about it, and I got it, and I really freaking enjoyed it. It was one of those really interesting titles, and basically the concept of the plot is that this girl at the beginning of the film goes home to her boyfriend, and he is in bed having sex with another girl. And rather than him oh no, honey, he gets up and he starts packing her suitcase, and he's like, well, it's been, I guess the time's come, and he just kicks her out. So she ends up killing herself. That's not giving it away. I said literally in the first 5 minutes of the film. And her sister, Emmanuel, comes, and she finds in her suitcase some letters that she wrote to Emmanuel about what happened to her. And so she gets a unique idea to get revenge, and not in the way that you'd think for Emmanuel film, a different way to get revenge on him. And this film does not end in the way that you're going to think it's going to end, but it is a pretty fascinating watch. And it goes back and forth between Emmanuel and what she's doing at the time, and flashing back to see what happened with her sister, and the guy who is a son of a bitch, really, in the very, and that's a light, to say he's a jerk, he's a real jerk. So you're really wanting to see him get what's coming to him, and it goes in a different way than you think, but it's a satisfying movie by the time it ends. In my opinion, it was a satisfying film. So if you've never saw watch the trailer or something like that, but it's definitely one that stuck with me. Out of all the ones that I got the last time around, this one I found myself watching again.
Okay. So
a different title, but I it's not your regular Emmanuel film. It's not something that's on that's going to be just it has the sex and stuff, but that's not the driving force. The revenge is a driving force of this film, and she does it in a neat way. And the ending is pretty violent, which again, something different for an Emmanuel film. But I love the last. There's a thing just at the end that is, you think you're not going to get it, and then you get it, and you're like, that's the perfect way for this thing to end, because it does a twist where you think, oh crap, no, not this. I want to go like this. And then it does a second twist, and you're like, yeah, this is the only way this could have ended.
That's awesome. Okay. Yeah, you're the second person to recommend that, actually. So
it's definitely a different film. It's not like the regular, it's not like Emmanuel and the Last Cannibals, which I actually do find as fun for what it is. But but it definitely takes it in a different direction. And the thing with the Emmanuel films that were done in Italy, there was a girl named Emmanuel, but you never knew what was going to happen. Like, is she going to, like, she could get arrested at the end of the film, like she could get killed at the end of the film. They just put her back in the next film with another actress. But so you're never sure, like, if she's going to make it out of the film or what's going to happen to her.
Right.
Things. Warlock said he's surprised not pushing Things. Yes, if you have not seen the movie Things, it is batshit insane.
That's my favorite Severin release.
Yes, my better half's favorite Severin release. It is Canucksploitation done in 1989. He's the hero's rocking the mullet. It's insane. It's got one of the weirdest storylines you're ever going to see, if you're going to call it storyline. Gotta love the guy that brings out the sandwiches. I'm guessing you guys have both seen Things, and it's literally just like 2 slices of bread with like nothing in between it, and they're like, these are fantastic sandwiches. And they're watching the TV, and there's not a damn thing on the TV. Mm-hmm. And they've hired a porn actress, by the way. They hired a porn actress who doesn't do nudity in the film, but she's a weather girl in the most mind-altering, am I doing drugs type of news broadcast throughout the film. It makes no sense. It's one of those there that you're gonna enjoy, and it's gonna be one of those films you're like, when you watch it, you're gonna be, I have to pass this curse on to somebody else. It's like in The Ring. So when somebody comes into your house, you'll be like, hey, did you ever see Things? And they'll be like, what's that? Oh, no, I'm not telling you anything else. Sit down. We're gonna have some drinks. We're gonna watch Things. It's gonna be a good time. Anybody that comes to my house that haven't seen it, then yes, you want Things.
Yeah, and on that note, I've got to tap out because I've got to get ready for my thing. But I do want to, in that same vein of things, I do want to warn people away from Sledgehammer. It's very bad. It's very dull, and it literally moves in slow motion. Also, if they bring back Frankie and his pals, do not buy it. Do not be tricked. Frankie and his pals is one of the worst movies ever made. And you can say, oh, I like bad movies. Hey, I like bad movies.
Me. I did not buy it.
It looks terrible.
Terrible. Bad. It's worse than you think it is. And that's how bad terrible. It is.
That was like FOMO. That was FOMO right there, right? Fear of missing out.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I love
that. Was the biggest shock for me last year. That's coming out.
Insane. So if they bring it back, do not grab it. You will not enjoy that. But Things is a solid movie for sure. I've got to tap out. But you guys keep rocking. Thank you so much for having me, man.
Thank you so much for joining me. I'm actually going to be going there soon too, because I got to get ready for a second stream as well. It's a whole Crimson Cult Patreon-y thing.
Nice.
So
nice. So you'll be live on Patreon?
I will actually. I'll be going live on Patreon to do the shopping thing because I still don't know what I'm getting.
I hear you.
For the credit card.
I will be. She's here with me because I'll be here. She'll be like, I'll be like this. I'll be like,
hi.
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 Oh.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'll be live on YouTube if anybody wants to hang out and you're not a patron of Aaron. I'll be live in an hour covering the whole thing, and then if your thing is over, Aaron, I'll probably be going about 4 hours. So if you're done, come on over and hang.
Yeah, definitely. If I'm not, like dead from the begging and pleading, then then you might see me.
My wife is putting the kids to bed, so it's better she doesn't know what happens tonight. I guess that's it. I'm gonna try and grab a meal and pee, and then I'll be back on. I love you guys very much. Take care of yourselves.
Thank you. Hey there. So, are you gonna reference it now? I'm going on to the other live stream. If you're gonna be awake and doing the sale too, you're welcome to join me. By the way, and on the other stream as well. I can send you the link to it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I have to go see what the missus is up to right now.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Slaves to our better halves. That's especially on sale nights. That be very nice on sale nights.
That's exactly what it is. I had one more question though, Aaron. Vice of Mrs. Strange Vice of Mrs. Roth.
Did you have it yet?
No, is that a good one?
One of the top 5 best Giallos of all time.
Yeah. Okay.
Sergio Martino's best. So yeah, so I'm running like on my Patreon channel. I'm doing like I'm starting to do next week like this whole Call of Giallo stuff, and one of the very first ones that I'm doing is Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward and Your Vice's Locked Room and Only I Have the Key. Those are both Martino Giallos, and they're, in my opinion, top stuff. So when I say top stuff, I mean this is like right along the lines of like just as good as any Argento that's been out there. Yes, amazing stuff. You're buying the Lindsay stuff. Yes, if you can afford it, man, that is a great one. And it's got a great score. I think it's by Riz Ortolini that did the score for that. I'm not quite sure, but I think it's Riz Ortolini. It does have a great score to it. It's a fantastic one. And I've only got like a DVD. Somebody sent me a UK Blu-ray of it, but I would love to have the Severin one because
I heard the transfer wasn't the greatest for the Severin one. Could be wrong though.
The thing for me though is like I've said people say like, okay, like I don't like the transfer on this one, and 9 times out of 10, I'll be watching. I'll be like, I don't mind it. Like, yeah, a couple days said like, oh, this the transfer's not good on this, and I got it, and I'm like, are you serious? Like Wax Mask, for instance, with Sergio Savaletti one, right? Wax Mask, which I really like, by the way. But I understand it's not everybody's bag. But I watched it, and people saying, well, the transfer on Wax Mask isn't good, and I'm like, yes, it is. But I'm not one of those guys that are going to goes on any of those websites where like, okay, so this is a screenshot from 2 minutes and 43 seconds.
Right.
This one. Yeah. Like that's wasted on me.
I think the grain really throws a lot of people off. Like if it's really grainy, it's like, that's what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, that's exactly. Like that's what people with 4K, they're like, why does the 4K look shinier? Because if it looks shinier, then they've done a bad job. It's it's meant to be more of a theater like experience. Strange Vice is such a good film. Like 100%, man. Go in blind watching Strange Vice, and you're gonna really enjoy yourself.
Well, thank you very much, Aaron. I'll probably definitely pick that one up actually. So thanks for having me too.
Man. Anytime. You're always welcome back, man.
Yeah, cool.
There are many sales left to talk about.
every month there's a big sale.
Oh my god! And if there's the Black Friday sales are coming up eventually with the Vinegar Syndrome and Severin, so I'll expect you if you want to come back. You're definitely welcome back for those as well.
Absolutely, if I'm free, yeah, absolutely.
Well, fun. So I'm going to let you go to your better half. I'm going to go to mine and suck up because that's what what I'm going to do. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. If you're a patron member, you already got your links in a couple days ago, and I will. So I'll see you guys actually really soon in about 22 minutes actually. So I'm going to go drink some stuff, and again, I want to thank Logan Toxic. He has a great channel, and he's got the best Criterion song ever, and always loving having Logan Toxic on here. Love having Jose on our MasterChaos TV. By the way, you should be subscribed to both those guys because they are fantastically incredible guys. And I'll see you guys later. Happy Severin shopping. So if you're not in the Patreon thing, that's okay. MasterChaos is going to be having a stream there. Check that out. And if you're a part of the Crimson Cult, come over, join me so I'm not lonely while I'm shopping. Help me convince my better half to help me spend money. I'll see you guys really soon. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you guys for joining me. Hit that like button on the way out if you haven't.